champs in St. Paul. Frustrating would be an understatement when describing the 2004 World Cup for Slovakia and the United States. Both teams try to rebound. Neither team wants to go into the next round without a win. Look for the Americans to come out flying. It's Slovakia and the United States next on ESPN2. XL Energy Center, playing host to fans of both teams. The Toyota World Cup of Hockey on ESPN2 features Team USA and Team Slovakia tonight. Hi, everybody. Along with Darren Pang, I'm Mike Emmerich. The people in Minnesota know great hockey when they see it, and they're looking for some from Team USA tonight. In the first two games, Team USA got terrific goaltending, but in both games, they only scored one goal. So Coach Ron Wilson has decided to lower the boom.
They have been so bad in the first period of both their games, being outshot 35-10. He's made a very big move here, and I know it's one that wasn't easy for Coach Ron Wilson, but future Hall of Famer Brett Hull, one of the most prolific scorers in NHL history, will not play tonight. He's a healthy scratch. 5 players will change over, so some guys are going to get an opportunity to stay into the lineup.
Well, Mike Modano came here 15 years ago. They loved him then. He went on to Dallas. He's back again tonight. They like him still.
Absolutely, because Mike Modano was terrific in that second game. He set up the only goal that was scored. I thought he was skating very well. He was a question mark because of a deep bruise on his knee. Mike Modano will center a big line with Keith Tkachuk on the left side and Billy Guerin on the right.
Well, Robert Ashe has been sensational in goal for the U.S. Is he back in?
No, he's not. They're going to rest him, Doc, and that's the right move. They planned on that all along. Rick DiPietro of the New York Islanders is going to play, and he's a phenomenal goaltender to watch. He's a great puck handler. If the pucks get dumped in, he'll really help out this older defense, and he's an acrobatic kid that can give them plenty of energy.
Well, these people here have enjoyed Marian Gaborik for 4 years now. I'm sure there's going to be another one of his A shows tonight.
Well, he was the most valuable player for Slovakia in their loss against Canada, and he had 3 or 4 glorious scoring chances. Marian Gaborik, in the last 25 games of the regular season last year, averaged just over a point a game, and he was flying in that game against Canada. You can expect he'll get plenty of good goal-scoring chances.
For the U.S., one last chance to build a little self-confidence before they go into the quarterfinals. But now, tonight, new faces mixed in with some of the old ones. All game faces. Will it make a change? We'll know in a moment.
ESPN College Game Day heads to Death Valley, home of the defending national champion LSU Tigers, for the first full football Saturday.
I want to see if these fans got any pride in their Death Valley.
College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, Saturday at 10:30 on ESPN.
He's put together a really nice run here.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Ooh, that hurt.
Hey, look, what's this? Someone's entered the arena. Hey, get that guy out of here for crying out loud.
It's sack-on time.
I'll tell you, he doesn't see him. This could get ugly. Oh, my. I have no words for what we've just seen. I'm speechless. Utterly incomprehensible.
Kansas wins again.
He's not even human. He's like a robot.
Why? Because he always wins.
Need another Kenseth. Copy that. Did I win?
Yep.
He's a robot.
A winning robot.
Walkie-talkies get it done. Nextel.
Happy anniversary.
I am so lucky. Ace Hardware is having a sale.
Stop in and save on hundreds of items at the 80th anniversary sale. This weekend only at Ace, the helpful place.
You've never seen anything like this before. Not that. This.
Introducing the new Icy Hot Sleeve. Joint-hugging pain relief with medicine that goes on icy to dull the pain, then gets hot to relax it away.
The new Icy Hot Sleeve. There's never been anything like it.
This is Toyota World Cup Hockey on ESPN2. Bill Pito and Barry Melrose in the studio. Great to have you with us. What does Team USA have to do to finally get a win in this tournament?
Well, they have to play with something that I've been mentioning over and over again. I've been talking about the Czech team, and that's play with some passion. The United States have been outworked, out-hit. They've been losing physical battles for 2 games. That cannot continue to happen to North American players. That is what makes a North American player, how hard they play, how fired up they are, how much emotion they play with. Ron Wilson made these changes, especially the Brett Hull move, scratching Brett, to elicit an emotion, make them mad at him, make them mad at each other, make them mad at somebody, hopefully the Slovakian, so they come out and play in the first period. The Di Pietro move is a good move because he's a very talented young goaltender and certainly the future of United States hockey, so give him a chance to shine.
You mentioned the Czech Republic earlier over on ESPN this afternoon. 5 goals in the second period after a scoreless first period. 2 more in the third. They blow out Germany 7-2.
Certainly saw the talent of the Czechs finally, but they came and played with some passion, something they haven't done in the 2 previous games. So maybe this is a good sign for the Americans. Maybe they're due to play with some fire.
So the standings, Finland, Sweden, the Czech Republic's first win, Germany winless. Remember, each country gets 3 games as they set the seedings for the single elimination portion, and that's coming up next week. In the meantime, Team USA trying to get its first win. Keith Tkachuk scored and then lost to Russia last night. Can he get on the board tonight? Mike Emmerich and Darren Pang after this.
Become the fantasy and journey to a catalog beaming with sacred swords from your favorite films and TV shows. Like Duncan's Katana and MacLeod swords from the Highlander. For the first time ever, the Kurgan sword. Xena's mysterious warrior princess and chakram swords. The Hercules gladiator sword. Or Conan's unparalleled Atlantean sword. Order your precious swords. Get your free sword catalog and embrace your weapon.
ESPN2's presentation of the Toyota World Cup of Hockey is brought to you by the Toyota Tundra Double Cab. Not just big, life-sized.
Here in St. Paul, it's time to call in the Minnesota-born third man on our team, Joe Micheletti. Joe?
Doc, thanks very much. Both these teams, coming off losses, and both coaching staffs basically saying the same thing. They want simplicity out of this game. For Slovakia, they feel if they play that way, then they're big stars. It'll be easier for them to produce more. As far as the U.S. is concerned, they're not only looking for a way to win a game, but even more importantly, they're looking for a way to play better going into next week. They just want a good 60 minutes. They haven't had that as of yet. Guys?
Thanks, Joe. They haven't had a good first 20 minutes a game.
No, they've been outshot 35-10 in the 2 respective first periods. When you combine the first period against Canada, and then you talk about the first period in their last game last night, it's been unbelievable. They've got to get themselves prepared, and hence the change in the lineup. And that's why Coach Ron Wilson fretted all night last night about making the changes that he made.
Quick shot by Brian Leach goes off the glass. Jeff Halpern, Steve Konowalchuk, and Jamie Langenbrunner are out there. Langenbrunner and Halpern did not play in the last game. For Langenbrunner, this is his first game, and it's the 3rd preliminary game and the last one for Team USA. Ron Wilson said this morning, I want to create 2 grind lines. Maybe that'll make a difference. Maybe it'll give them some energy here at the start.
Well, I like one of the lines that he's put together. Konowalchuk, Jeff Halpern, and Jamie Langenbrunner will man a line, and they should go against one of the top teams on Slovakia. The top lines, excuse me, Doc.
The United States is in dark uniforms, as they were last night, but they will not be wearing those 1932 uniforms. Those will be held for the World Junior Tournament. The U.S. team will be wearing those, I beg your pardon, against Russia. The dry air. Here's Modano around behind, trying to feed one in front. That kicked aside, then around behind again, and back up for the pinch on the boards by Paul Martin, a local guy from right here in Minneapolis who gets his first bit of World Cup of Hockey action tonight. And he's matched up with Brian Rafalski, his partner from the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, I like that Ron Wilson saw that too, defensively anyway, that he put Paul Martin and Rafalski together because they had familiarity in New Jersey. But when you look at some of the changes that were being made, obviously Brett Hull is not in uniform for this game. Craig Conroy as well, John Michael Lyles, Brian Ralston and Eric Weinrich are out of the lineup. So that makes room for some players to jump in there, like Jamie Langenbrunner, Doc, that was so disappointed about not playing last night against Russia. It took him halfway through the game before he even got to the arena. He was so distraught and disappointed that he wasn't playing.
Chris Chelios banged that one around the wall, and it came over to Brian Smolinski, tucked it on out to center. Smolinski and Amonte, the wingers for Doug Waite. And it's brought back by Gabrick. Gabrick tried to put one in front, and it was knocked away by Chris Chelios.
Well, Chelios got the puck stolen by him in the first place by Gabrick, but Chelios made a heck of a play to come back and get the shaft of his stick along the ice. Otherwise, Gabrick's got a wide-open winger right in front of the net. And Gabrick's the one player that Ron Wilson and Team USA, they know that he can flat out win a game on his own. See the shaft of the stick of Chelios? Great play there, because it was, I believe that was Shatan on the right side of the ice. And if Chelios doesn't get that stick along the ice, it's a no-brainer right there for Slovakia.
We were interested in the type of reception Gabrick would get here tonight. Not that the Wild fans had really soured on him a lot, but he did not even join the team until November 4th last year and was only averaging about a half a point per game. They counted on him heavily here in a team that doesn't score a lot of goals. But he finished with 27 points in his last 28. That was strong for him. Now here's a shot that's deflected in front, tipped across and brought on now by Seabach. Seabach, nice pass up the wing, brought back by Slovakia, and turning with it is Lubos Bartechko behind the net. Bartechko tried to muscle his way to the front and could not, and it comes on back to the point. Held there by Suchi. Handed across for a wrist shot, and that one snapped up by Rick DiPietro.
Well, that's a good start by Rick DiPietro. And one guy that DiPietro knows will get scoring chances in this game, I talked to Rick this morning about it, is the left-handed Marian Gabrick. Gabrick's the left-hand shot that plays the right wing. And against Canada early on, he had several glorious chances. And if not for the fine work from Martin Brodeur, this game would have been a lot closer earlier on. In fact, late in the game, after one chance too many, Gabrick, who didn't score on that last one that he slammed his stick on, shattered that in half. And that shows that this kid cares. And he's going to come out here in Minnesota, and he certainly wants to show everybody his goal-scoring prowess, and that last year was an aberration for him.
Right-handed catching goaltender DiPietro, offside is called. Is that a major thing with him? I mean, the opposition coming in, do they think much about that anymore? Or are they such professionals that they can adjust quickly?
Doc, they will adjust because everybody talks about it, but they adjust after their first shot. You see, a right-hand shot will often go high to the glove side. Now he's seen just the blocker there. So after the first shot, he'll go, oh, he catches with the wrong hand. Now I'll make that change.
This one tucked right around in front and eventually blocked off by Jan Lasik, the goaltender for Slovakia, and we get a halt to play and some shoving.
Yeah, there's going to be a minor penalty on that play, and it's going to be a slash. And I believe the minor penalty is going to go against Billy Guerin. There's a possibility. It's his stick that's broken. And I saw that in front of the goaltender, but I'm not sure if it was Billy Guerin and it was Orzog that's going off. So there's a good possibility. I saw the shattered stick. I thought maybe Billy initiated it, but that's not going to be the case. On the right side of your screen, right there. Oh boy, was that ever a good slash, and a good call by the official. Look at the reaction by Billy Guerin. He's got an easy backhander there on a quality scoring chance. And if there's a penalty you have to take, it's the one by Orzog. He just nullified a great scoring chance by Guerin.
Guerin at the bench was in some pain, and his line mate, Keith Tkachuk, had a big grin on his face. Easiest for the guy that doesn't have to be there. Leach a shot, oh, and it went off Lasik. Rebound and score! One of the new guys in the lineup, Brian Smolinski, has made it 1-0, and now some energy in the building and some energy for Team USA.
Well, all the fretting that Ron Wilson went through last night in making these changes, it pays off early on here. A good decision by Leach to fire the puck on net. And with Scotty Gomez in front of the net causing havoc, Chara got his back turned on the play right there, trying to take out Gomez. And Brian Smolinski, who's naturally a centerman, but can play all three forward positions, slides one in the empty net to make it 1-0.
3:09, the time of the scoring of the goal for Smolinski. And offside. Well, you have to think, and I know he told you, he talked about a tombstone. Ron Wilson did.
Ron Wilson said, that's great. That's what they're going to put on my tombstone. The first coach to make Brett Hull a healthy scratch. 741 NHL goals for Brett Hull, 5 consecutive 50-plus goal years. But the fact of the matter is, In games 1 and 2, nothing was going on. And after game 1, Brett did tell Ron that was the worst hockey game I've ever played. And I know Ron said, you know, it wasn't good. Now, it wasn't good all the way around. There's a lot of players that have been guilty of not performing early on in the game. It's not just Brett Hull.
Sailed in by Ken Klee. This was the same man who coached the United States to the title World Cup in 1996. And when you weigh putting 5 players in, taking 5 out, I mean, it's good that you have that much help. Slovakia would kill for that, Frank.
You're right about that. The depth of USA hockey, it's stronger and stronger. And there are other great players that could be here. Little Brian Johnson that you see on a day-to-day basis in New Jersey could be here.
Penalty coming up to Slovakia, but there may be more out of this scrum in the corner. A snarl has come to this game. Team USA finished with a snarl last night, but it had no impact at all.
I didn't like the way they finished last night. Keith Tkachuk took a really silly penalty at the very end. I mean, it showed an ugly side to this squad. You do that early on in the game. You try to get the other team to come into your game. Keith Tkachuk didn't do that early in last night's game. He did it late. It didn't matter when he did it. But now they want to get into the face of Slovakia. They want to get under their skin. They want to see if they'll retaliate a little bit right there as Halpern, who set up the play in his own zone, gets tripped up. Then here's the rough stuff. Good hit from right there by Langenbrunner. And Nagy takes exception to that. See, Langenbrunner's a kid that can really be a feisty player, a good two-way hockey player, a seasoned veteran that has won before at the NHL level. And Jamie's going to go to the penalty box, but that's the kind of aggressiveness that Ron Wilson wants in terms of initiating contact. Not at the end of the game when the game's wide over, you're going to take a stupid penalty. That's not being a physical hockey player.
Jamie had a lot of people that he had lined up to come to the game last night, and they came because he got them tickets, but they did not see him. Well, the same bunch is here tonight, and they do get to see him play. He's in the box now, and it is Leach giving it across. Oh, and a quick shot by Modano, and a very quick pass from Bill Guerin, and that's stopped by Lasha. Fed to the back, held by Rafalski. Angled back across. Moving for it was Guerin, but it's taken and worked along by Tkachuk. Onto the back to Leach. Flipped one that is guided over by Modano, and a good quick shot by Guerin. And everything they did not have last night in the first period, nor earlier in the week, they've got tonight. And another penalty coming up.
Well, they're prepared for this hockey game, and that's just the difference. They weren't prepared to start out against Canada, and they weren't prepared in the opening period against Russia last night. The power play that they just had is going to be nullified. What a save there by Lasik on that great wrist shot by Mike Modano. Here's the second one. Look at Modano's no-look backhand pass right on the tape to Billy Guerin, who one time's a little wrist shot, and Lasik got a right side of his body on that one as well. And so that's a good start by Mike Modano, who I thought was flying last night, had his legs going. He's got a bruised, kind of a contusion just above the knee. But that penalty by Keith Tkachuk in front of the net will nullify the power play that they had, because they had Vishnowsky was in the penalty box.
Maybe it's age, but I remember when Mike Modano arrived here, he stayed at an airport hotel for a while. He was 18 years old and was just really getting indoctrinated into professional hockey, but at the highest level, and was staying at a hotel.
Yeah, and you know that as an 18-year-old, he stayed there for a short amount of time, and then he moved in with a family. He still keeps in touch with Bill and Debbie Mack. They still go to games. He still talks to them. It's been a great relationship.
All right, now Slovakia. Eventually we'll get a power play, but that's not for a minute and a quarter. Early stages of the game, Brian Smolinski has scored for Team USA. This is their last preliminary game before the quarterfinals begin. And when you get to the quarterfinals, it's everybody qualifying, but you lose and you're done. Dimitra tapped it on ahead. Marian Hossa brings it further. Richard Lintner could not reach that one. Neutral ice, they try to play again, and it is controlled by Lintner, one-time New York Ranger. Big Zdeno Chara, 6'9", 260 is out there in uniform number 3 as they gain the zone. Just that quickly, lost to Chelios and handed back across. Paul Martin brought it ahead. Spun back across by Gomez, walked on by Chelios, and a drive is deflected and hopped wide of Lasik and the cage. Flopped on back and taken now by Slovakia. Their power play won't start for another 27. And this will be retrieved.
Doc, that's a good shift by the veteran Chris Chelios, the captain of this team, who assured everybody that there's no panic in the USA dressing room before this game. And he compared the situation a little bit with 2002 when Team Canada struggled in their first couple of games.
Forehand shot by Joseph Stumple went wide. And of course, Canada came back strongly after that.
Yes, they did. Winning the gold medal there. Canada got the silver medal in the final.
Gabrick a shot and a save made by DiPietro. We met his father here this morning. Came down from Boston, and he's here to watch his son play.
What a proud dad, what a proud family. Rick has really come on, and he knows when you saw that last shot, that was by Marian Gabrick. Rick DiPietro knows that Gabrick likes to go between the legs, as he tried to do a few times against Marty Brodeur.
Here's Halpern moving in, lobbing one that's blocked off by Lushik. Rebound, he had to stop and cover that one too. Early stages, first period of our contest, and thanks to Smolinski, this is a 1-0 USA lead.
My cousin told me about a Class 5 this way.
We're gonna take a Class 5 Rapids. Bring it on! All right, let's do it.
If we take a Class 3 and a Class 2, that's like taking a Class 5, right?
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It'll get you there. The rest is up to you. The largest, most powerful forerunner yet.
Red Stripe, the beer in the short and stubby bottle. And there's nothing wrong with being short and stubby.
I'll drink to that.
Red Stripe, it's beer. Hooray, beer!
Hooray, beer!
The itching and burning of athlete's foot. This is the latest way to get rid of it. This isn't. Lotrimin Ultra, the latest prescription strength medicine available without a prescription. So powerful, 1 use a day is all you need. Lotrimin Ultra.
Don't forget to call, son.
Yep, I got you right in here, Dad.
Sign up for the Family Share Plan, and now the whole family can make unlimited in-calls to each other and any other Verizon Wireless customer anytime without using any planned minutes from our national in-coverage area. Plus, buy one LG 3200 for $29.99 and get one free.
Oh, I need to call her back.
Are you all in? Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
We'll see if Marian Gabrick changes up his decision-making and where he shoots the puck, knowing full well that goaltenders also have a book on shooters, and Rick DiPietro knows that Gabrick likes to go low. Gabrick uses a long stick, he pushes the puck ahead of him, and he really fires it hard between the legs. So we'll see if that battle continues in this game.
Well, that book is a very big one, despite the fact both of these guys are young. Tuesday, the World Cup of Hockey moves into the quarterfinals on ESPN and ESPN2. At 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on ESPN, we'll bring you a quarterfinal from the European pool. And then at 7 Eastern on ESPN2, we'll be back here in St. Paul for an elimination game in the North American pool. For more information on the matchups, log on to ESPN.com. Won by Slovakia.
So it makes this a big game and a desperate game for Chris Chelios and the U.S. team. For one, they'd like to keep St. Paul home base. You end up going to Toronto and facing Canada, and that is a possibility if they don't play well here. Obviously, the Russians, too, will dictate where Ron Wilson and Chris Chelios' Team USA squad ends up going. But you would have to think that they would want the luxury of being right here at the XL Energy Center.
1,395 NHL games played for that man. 7 years Montreal, 9 Chicago, 6 Detroit. Still going at age 42. Now here's Doug Waite, Michigan-born player. There are 4 in the lineup tonight from the state of Michigan. The 3 M states have contributed heavily to this team. Michigan, Massachusetts, and Minnesota. Ahead now, they bring it again. Here's Smolinski. Throws one in front. Oh, and a good deflection, but it went just off the mark from Doug Waite. Slovakia brings it ahead, 7 shots to 2. It was lopsided the other way against Russia last night, but Team USA has come out very well. You said earlier they'll come out flying, and I know that tends to be trite, but they have responded so far. Brought ahead now and pitched back in once more. Doing that was Chris Drury. Round it comes for Scott Gomez. Gomez then to Jason Blake. Lobbed on back, and it must be played in neutral ice.
Well, Brian Smolinski has been added onto the line with Doug Wade at center ice and Tony Amonte. Amonte and Wade played a lot in last night's game. And Smolinski, a right-hand shot here. He's looking. He's got two decisions. Fire it on net or try to make a feathery little pass. He put it right on the tape. The backhand of the blade of Doug Wade driving hard to the net. And I like seeing Doug Wade drive hard to the net because he's kind of a perimeter guy that likes to stay on the outside.
Scott Gomez had an opening, decided he wanted to go across to Chris Drury, and that didn't pan out. So back again comes Joseph Stumpel for Slovakia. Full strength action here. Nearly 8 minutes played, first period. Smolinski's goal, the only one, as they try for Gabrick, but instead get Brian Rafalski out of the University of Wisconsin. That one is pitched back out. Almost all of the players in the Team USA lineup played college hockey. There are 4 exceptions. Set up by DiPietro and taken then behind by Paul Martin, who played right here in this area for the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. Then Rafalski. That one slowed down, and an offside pass is called.
Well, nice that Ron Wilson got Paul Martin into the lineup. Eric Weinrich is a scratch for this game. So Weinrich and John Michael Lyles step out of uniform. Paul Martin steps into the uniform. And I like the fact that you're here in this environment. You've made a lot of wholesale changes. Why not get Paul Martin in? With the amount of injuries that they've had, they've really gone down to the depth charts to get more guys involved in this tournament.
Big drive. Oh, and getting a piece of it. That time was DiPietro from the stick up Bartechko. Oh, down heavily goes a Team USA player, and that was Halpern. Back ahead, Team USA brings it. Held by Langenbrunner. Onto the back it comes. Shot, and that sailed wide off the stick of Ken Cleve. Halpern pressed to the boards. Good work done on him by Wisnowski. You may have heard the referee yell, play it. Shot knocked down in front. Don Van Massenhoven and Steve Waltham handling the game as they did Slovakia's game with Canada earlier. Now peeling off and getting a shot away that's turned aside with Zednik. Zednik not a part of this team in its game against Canada because of food poisoning, but he's there and healthy tonight, and it's Konowalchuk at center. And it's just ripped back so that Team USA can make another change in lines. Nearing the halfway point of the first period. We hope you're enjoying the coverage of the World Cup of Hockey. It has been magnificent to watch all of these games, afternoon games from Europe. There was another one today and a decisive win for the Czech Republic. Here in a drive and a save by Lasik. And we get a stoppage of play and an interference call. And the box will open on Team USA's side, so it will be a power play for Slovakia. And again, Keith Tkachuk goes to the box. Interference.
This is a key opportunity for the Slovaks. They haven't had much going on. DiPietro's had to make a couple of saves, but we haven't seen much from their top guys just yet. The Marian Hoses of the Ottawa Senators and the Miroslav Shatans of the Buffalo Sabres. There's the penalty there. There's no puck around. And Keith Tkachuk wanted to be a physical presence along the wall, but it's a good call by the official. Second power play for Slovakia, although the first one was a very short one.
DiPietro, very good at stick handling. And it's cleared back down by Tony Amonte. He and Doug Wade are out on the penalty kill. And it is Rafalski to work in back with Martin.
I wouldn't think that Slovakia is going to dump the puck in on DiPietro. The players know that he's very good at handling the puck.
Good crunch right off the wall. Picked that one off and blasted ahead to center.
So now I'm surprised. There they are with full control of the puck. They dump it in on an easy one for Rick to play it off the glass.
Once in a while, the expert up here gets it wrong. Not very often, once in a while.
Well, I thought I was right. They were wrong by dumping it in.
You're right. Yeah, strategy-wise, you're right.
You know, they told me they're not going to dump it in. They know he's a good puck handler. So what do? They cross the red line and they dump it into him.
I think they had gotten their lesson straight with Brodeur the other night.
Exactly.
All right, twisting with this one is Nagy. Out of the two-a-side scrum. 1 minute to go on this power play. For a moment, the scoreboard showed coincidental minors. Onto the back now, drive, and that one deflected wide. Sturbach let that go. He's got it back again. He's got Char on the other side, but works to the corner. They try to set up Hosa at the front of the net. Wants to block DiPietro's vision, but that one blocked down. Oh, and it's set aside for a score. Good opportunity, and the beat across by Dimitra. And Nagy cashes in. A power play goal has made it 1-1.
play by Pavel Demitra, who's an unrestricted free agent after playing the last several years in St. Louis. He's going to get the rebound from DiPietro. I'm sure he wants that one back. It slid away from him. And when it looked like Pavel Demitra was going to shoot the puck, he saw Nagy to the left side of your screen. Chelios goes in on a little bit of cross-check there on Hossa. And then Nagy's all alone on the weak side. No chance for DiPietro to get to that rebound off a brilliant pass from Pavel Demitra.
So the shot total is almost even now. And the game is now a turnover, and moving on in and lobbing one just off the mark was Bill Guerin. And it is cleared back down. Icing touch-up. Midway. So now the arm wrestling contest is swung back to Slovakia. 1-1.
Glenn's the man going to work. Got his tie, got ambition. He knows one day he just could become supervisor.
Starbucks Double Shot Espresso Drink. Bring on the day.
This is not a game. This is a job. The kind that wears out your muscles and your mind. And then it asks for more. A lot more. There you go. So find it and bring it. You ready to fill these shoes? Past meets present, the Nike Air Max shootout. Nowhere but Foot Locker.
Think you can fill them?
Hey, Fred! Come on! We're getting the league back together! Okay.
Hey, Dwayne! We're getting the league back together! League! The league!
Play Fantasy Football League Manager on ESPN.com. Get the league back together.
Maybe the best player in the tournament thus far has been Robert Esch. He gets the night off and goal for Team USA. Is it good to have a night off?
You always want to play in an event like this. I'd love to be out there right now, obviously, just as any other player would be, but just so happens I do what the coach tells me.
You know, there was a lot of people coming into this tournament that talked about Mike Richter in 1996 and how well he played. Did you feel any additional pressure coming into the tournament?
No, actually, you know, you're always going to play behind great goalies your whole life, and you know, right now in Philadelphia, there's a lot of great goalies that were before me, and I'm sure Team USA is going to be no different.
Nice going. Keep up the good work. Thanks for the visit.
Thanks so much.
Guys?
Okay, Joe, thank you. Robert Esch was to play those first two games, and Ron Wilson said this morning, we had it targeted. He would play two and then sit one just because he's coming off surgery.
That's right. So they weren't quite sure. They started off slowly in training camp. Robert Esch didn't play the first couple of games. They let him get into a little bit of a rhythm. Robert Esch has been absolutely outstanding. Gave them an opportunity against Canada, obviously gave them an opportunity against Russia in last night's game. And on the last goal, he didn't like it. It was that little wrist shot by Kozlov that went through his legs. You know what? It didn't matter. It didn't even matter because he gave them every chance to slide into that game. And so now they've got Rick DiPietro, really a goalie of the future, too, in the United States. So nice combination. And Ty Conklin backing up in this game.
Well, he did so well in the playoffs for them, and he was dealing with history. History was on his shoulders, and it wasn't great history, too, with some of the past Philadelphia goaltenders, but he rose right above it.
Sure did.
ESPN is proud to offer coverage of all 19 games in this World Cup of Hockey tournament on our family of networks. And this holiday weekend, 4 games will be broadcast live online during ESPN's free preview weekend at ESPNbroadband.com, including Canada-Russia at 7 Eastern on Saturday night. It's the first of what will be many events and programs showed live on ESPNbroadband.com, so log on and check it out. I think hockey fans are so passionate, they want to watch anybody play. And in this tournament, it's so competitive. You've got 2 teams that are unbeaten in Sweden and Finland in the other division who are going to play each other in Helsinki.
Absolutely. So you've got players, the Matt Sundins and the Nick Lidstroms and the Daniel Alfredssons of Sweden that you're familiar with in the NHL. And Finland has been a great story. Mika Kiprasov has continued his brilliance after last year's run. He won an arbitration hearing as well. And he's proven that he's going to be a great goaltender for years to come. So
he's played 2 games and his goals against is 0.00.
That's not right.
We didn't really get what he did in the warm-up. He may have fallen there. Here's a feed in the spot. It went off of Blake and it careened in and it's going to go.
Well, that's one way to put it in the net. Go in with it. He was falling as he was going towards the goaltender, and it went off his shin pad. He didn't direct it in with a hand. He didn't go in before the puck went in. It's just a fluky, goofy play. Chelios is going to get the assist. See, Blake was tripped up by their player, and the only question would be, did he push it in with a hand? We'll keep our eye on this side. It went off his skate, but it wasn't kicked in. It went off his body, but it wasn't pushed in. So I'm sure the Slovakian team would like them to take a look at it, but by all counts, that is just one of those fluky plays that would be deemed a goal. Unless you saw him take the puck with his hand and push it into the net, or with his foot in a soccer-like motion and kick it in, it wouldn't be a goal. But in that situation, it's frustrating for the goaltender because you're trying to stop a puck. Instead, you're trying to stop Jason Blake and the puck. There, body, in the net. You know, never an easy call when this happens, but my first reaction would be that would be a goal. As fluky as it is, as unlucky it is for the Slovaks and fortunate it is for Chris Chelios and Jason Blake, I think Stephen Walkom and the NHL officials made the right call.
Jan Filch, the coach of Slovakia, does not think so. They don't ask how, they ask how many, and the how many is now 2 for the United States. Boy, that was up around his glove, wasn't it?
It was, but you see that in the one angle, he didn't use his hands to push it. He kind of let it just go off his body. I think that's wonderful awareness by Jason Blake.
Former member of the Moorhead Minnesota Spuds, who got to the finals of the state hockey tournament here in Minnesota, and a penalty coming up against Slovakia. Aaron Miller able to worm away. Miller looking to the slot, tucked one out there that was touched by Slovakia, and so the U.S. with a 1-goal lead will have a 1-man advantage for the next 2 minutes.
And special teams have been the difference so far in this game. The USA is 1 for 2 with the man advantage. Slovakia is also 1 for 2 on the power play. The only even strength goal was that last one there by Jason Blake. So Lubos Barteshko is going to go off, and we'll have the 3rd power play of the game for Ron Wilson and Team USA. Mike Modano, Billy Guerin, and Keith Tkachuk, who totaled 5 goals in a 9-3 trouncing in 1996 in the World Cup against Slovakia, will get the first unit on the power play.
Mike Modano started the evening with these 2 guys on either side, and they had the sum total of the USA's goals in 2 games, 1 each. But they've already gotten 2 in the first 15 minutes of this one, as Modano flipped that one and was taken hard to the boards, but seems fine. That one skipped off his stick, came to Bill Guerin, shoved up along the wall by Chara. To the outside it goes now to Tkachuk. On back for a little flip by Rafalski that is blocked out and cleared by Slovakia.
I'm not sure if Mike Modano knew who he was going up against on the boards. That was Zdeno Chara, who is a freak of nature to be able to be 6'9", 265 pounds, and one of the best defensemen in the National Hockey League. And he hit him hard in the boards.
He looks down on a lot of the Timberwolves. Here's Waite. Now on to Tkachuk. Some of the fans whistling here. Waite hands it across now. Brian Leetch looks. Then Tkachuk. No one at the front right now. Gomez to the outside. Smolisky is there now. Gomez got it back from Waite. And it's stolen. This might be a chance. Dimitra nudges on, and here's Hulse all alone. Oh, made by DiPietro. On back rushes Gomez. What a great save, shorthanded by DiPietro.
Oh, Gomez is going to go back and tap his goaltender on the pads. It was Scotty that gave up the puck at his own blue line.
For the first time of this night, the chant is USA. Earlier, you heard some whistling. That was from the Slovakian fans feeling that they were done wrong not only on the goal, but the power play that the U.S. got right after. Here's Paul Martin. Martin a shot, save Lasik, and hit off the post, out of the scramble. Peeled around behind and sent on back. Doug Waite has to settle it down at center.
Puck is bouncing a lot. The players are going to have to be careful if they're trying to toe drag or dipsy doodle in tight areas. The puck's bouncing a lot.
Langenbrunner slugs it in from center. Chara pitched it back out again. Penalty time is up. Now it's thrown in by Chatan in an offside. We will get a chance to see the close calls at either end when we come back.
Take it to the extreme with the Extreme Labor Day sale at Sears. Do you want a pair of pants or a sky-high pile of denim? All jeans are on sale. Want to watch the big game or watch the game big? All TVs are on sale. And here's the buzz this weekend. All home appliances are on sale. All Craftsman blowers, tons of tools, and Michelin tires at the lowest prices this season. You could even win a $25,000 shopping spree with Ty Pennington. The Extreme Labor Day sale. An extremely good idea. Sears. Good life.
Sculpt your body and improve your life with a very special program, Better Body Basics.
This is a new workout for the mind, body, and spirit that's great for men and women of all ages.
Work out at home with fitness celebrity John Bastow.
Lightweight exercises, no-weight exercises, invigorating power yoga moves. Fitness Made Simple's Better Body Basics has them all.
Plus, you get a bonus section, John's top 10 tips for living lean and healthy.
Start taking control of your body and your life with Fitness Made Simple's Better Body Basics.
Lose fat, increase energy, reshape your body in record time with Fitness Made Simple's new 45-minute fat-burning workout.
There are no tricky dance moves, no high-impact gyrations, just lightweight training done at a heart-pumping cardio pace to build lean muscle and burn pounds of fat.
Work out at home with fitness celebrity John Bastow, doing exercises to sculpt your chest, back, shoulders, arms, legs, and abs. Call now or order online at fitnessmadesimple.com.
Fitness Made Simple, bringing real results to real people.
Scott Gomez gave up the puck at the blue line. Pavel Dimitra set up Hossa. Hossa really gives this shot away, and what a tremendous read by DiPietro, knowing it's going between his legs. At the other end of the ice, Lasik bats the puck off the helmet of Langenbrunner, and then it hits the near post. So that was close at the other end of the ice as well. But what a huge momentum saver by DiPietro on that breakaway.
Oh, here's Gomez with a shot, and Lasik comes up with a strong stop. Oh, Scott Gomez from Anchorage, Alaska, nearly buried one.
Great setup there, too. Right in the wheelhouse for Gomez, a left-hand shot. Drury with the puck, a nice flat little pass. And he looked like he was maybe trying to go between the legs, got it up a little high, and Lasik got it on the left elbow and the side of his body. Scoring chances dominated so far by the United States.
Gomez will try to win the draw and does. Ken Klee, a wrister, knocked down in front and foisted right to Gomez again, but he has to chase to get possession in the corner. It is Jason Blake. Has a goal in this game. And a productive period for the United States. Great opportunity for Slovakia. Denied by DiPietro on a breakaway. None other than Marian Hossa with that. They can look at these breakaways against Canada and the U.S. already and think what might have been.
They've got to start finishing, that's for sure.
Some shoulder shivers in the corner, and it's tapped on by Klee. Sent back out now to Seabach, and Seabach just dealt it back in and wanted to get a line change, which they now execute. Under 3 minutes to go, first period. Shots are 12-8 in favor of Team USA over Team Slovakia. Drifting back further now is Vesnovsky. Ryan Leach out with Aaron Miller on defense, and it's Madano's line with Kachuk and Guerin for the United States. 11 of these players were a part of the World Cup of Hockey Championship. This is the second one. They won the only other one in 1996. In average age, it's the oldest team. If you lose, it's age. If you win, it's experience.
That's right.
And this is a younger team tonight than played last night because of the lineup changes. Now peeling off with it is Pavel Dimitra. Flipped one that ricocheted across off Miller near the front of the net, but help came from Madano. And it is just dropped back down the ice for an icing. Let's check in back at our studios with Bill Pito and the guy from Saskatchewan.
That's me. That's me.
I thought it was me.
No, it ain't you, buddy.
What do you have after the first period?
Well, the harder I work, the luckier I get, and that's example. The Americans are winning some physical battles. They're outworking the Slovaks, and they're getting some breaks. So that's the difference in this game and the previous games.
Only a man from Saskatchewan.
That's right, Billy Bob. You know that.
See, after the first period, back to Mike and Darren.
And I'm from Ontario. Saskatchewan.
That's a city in California, isn't it? Or an airport.
That it would be. Yes, it would be.
Good battling here, and it's Shatan nudging it away. Yes?
Long day for Billy Pito and Barry in the studio this afternoon for the other game as well.
Well, the Czech Republic certainly came to play today. And came to play, I know, is one of those trite sentences, but it has not really been used to describe the Czech Republic in some of these international tournaments, except the Olympics.
You can't fool people in this tournament. You either want to win and you're together, or you're not going to win and you're going to embarrass yourself.
Here comes Gabrick, circling the wagons. Marian Gabrick putting on a show, and his pass is broken up and carried back by Doug Waite. He's got a man moving up, it's Martin. Waite just pivots and looks over his options. Got one around in front. Backhander by Langenbrunner. Came right back to him. Langenbrunner's pass is cut. Gabrick holds there and lobs it ahead for Slovakia. It's turned back deeper now by Miroslav Shatan.
That was a heck of a shift by Tony Imani. He was the one on Marian Gabrick causing the turnover at the blue line, and that allowed Doug Waite to make a great offensive play.
Lobbed along by Konowalchuk, and a penalty coming up, and this is going to be against Konowalchuk for the United States delayed call on. Rushing ahead and crossing and losing possession was Zednik, but they keep it to the outside. Drive! Oh, Obsut with a shot that was turned aside by DiPietro. And the U.S. can touch it up. Are we going to get a second penalty or just the initial one? I think just the initial one. Jamie Langenbrunner sits. And tomorrow, the college football season gets rolling with two great games on ESPN. First at 6 Eastern, the defending national champion LSU Tigers host the Oregon State Beavers. Then at 9:15, Tyrone Willingham and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish begin their season with a road test at BYU. Both games are available in high definition on ESPN HD. Call your cable operator, DirecTV, or the Dish Network today.
Second minor penalty for Jamie Langenbrunner. He didn't like that one. It was an interference call. And so the Slovakian team will have a power play on fresh ice to begin the second period if they don't score in the next 25 seconds.
Blocked by DiPietro. Lintner around behind. They circle now, and it's dropped back on for Hossa. Hands on for Chara. Gets it back again. Hossa deals back to the corner. Dimitra sent one in front, and that ricocheted off a skate. Drive by Lintner. That one kicked back and is sent back down the ice for Team USA by Drury.
That's a better first period than we've seen in the previous two games. Good start for the USA.
There will be carryover power play time for Slovakia, but very heightening when you consider what Team USA had been through in the first period of other games. They've done really well in the first period of this one. So they won the period. Now it takes two more.
Last year, one man's dream became a reality. But this year, the stakes are higher. What does it take to win the job of a lifetime and earn the best seat in sports? An all-new season of ESPN's Dream Job premieres Tuesday, September 14th at 7.
Today in baseball action, the play of the day was this. Very silly. The Toyota Tacoma pickup truck finds itself on first. He got hit on the bumper with the pitch. It's a huge target up there.
Leading off first in a healthy fashion, the Tacoma got a little bit greedy. Figured they could swipe second easy. Goodbye, majors. Hello, minors. Matt wins it, puts him in a pickle.
Well, first off, the leadoff technique is just something you don't want to follow, kids. After the rundown, the catcher David Roundtree remarked, the truck is very shiny and has good floor mats.
And is red.
And a radio.
Oh, no, they got a Serta, too?
Oh, I like this
Hey!
So comfortable, so... Oh.
Traitor. You'll feel the difference the moment you lie down. Serta, we make the world's best mattress.
Introducing the world's first coffee house that doesn't belong on the corner. It belongs on your counter. The new Home Cafe brewing system. Individual Folgers coffee pods and unique pressure brewing make a variety of coffee house-style coffees. One freshly brewed cup at a time in about a minute. The new Home Cafe at a coffee house near you. Your house.
Hotwire.com.
Back in the studio after one period, Team USA leads Slovakia by the score of 2-1. Barry, Ron Wilson shook up the lineup. He changed his goalie, and the moves have paid off so far.
He took some chances, and good coaches take chances, and everything he's done has worked out. Blake is an energy guy. He comes in, supplies energy, scores a goal. Langenbrunner's an energy guy, certainly involved. Took a penalty already, created a lot of emotion. Smolinski scores a goal. He's a goal scorer. And DiPietro, very solid net, stopped that breakaway shorthanded. So, and even Paul Martin, good, solid young defenseman playing in his home state, certainly adding emotion also. So all the moves have paid off. Tough decisions for a coach, but if you're going to coach at any high level, you got to make tough decisions, and hopefully most of the time they'll work out your way.
So far so good. You mentioned Brian Smolinski. He scored one of the 2 USA goals. He chatted after the period with Joe Micheletti.
Brian Smolinski, your team played a great first period, better than the last 2 games. What'd you do differently?
Well, I think we had some more passion. We're going through the process. We're trying to stick to our game plan, and we got some 5 healthy bodies in there to give us some spark.
You're one of them, and you scored the first goal of the game, a big goal to get the team going. When you sit out and then get a chance to get back in there, what goes through your mind?
A lot of mixed emotions. It's always tough to come in a situation like this, and not expecting to be down 0-2, and it's kind of a bittersweet. I'm glad to play, but under the circumstances, it was hard. But I'm glad to give the team a lift, and anything I can do, it can help.
Did you feel the team relax a little bit after that quick lead?
I think so. I think any team does. Look, Ricky settled into his own a little bit, and we're moving the puck. I think we're skating, we're moving our feet, and we're sticking to the game plan. That's why we're being successful tonight.
Congratulations on the goal. Thank you.
Thank you.
2 goals, one by Smolinski, one by Jason Blake. Neither played in the second game last night.
No, it's good news the guys coming in have added some, but now those stars have to start scoring. Wade has to play better. Amonte has to play better. Brian Leach has to play better. The guys that are the best players for the United States team's got to pick it up. They're not doing the job right now.
In the meantime, we want to update you on the labor situation. Nothing new today. Yesterday, the final day of 3 days of talks that led to what has been called no progress. Does your gut say that there's going to be a lockout?
My gut right now says, yeah, there's going to be a lockout, and I was the most optimistic person in the world. Just listening to people that I've talked to, agents, I've talked to players, I've talked to coaches, nobody right now thinks the season is going to start September 15th. I hope they're all wrong. I hope this negotiating in the press, I know they have to do it, but boy, there's not a lot of good news out there.
Salary cap remains a big issue.
The word cap, salary cap, that's the whole stumbling point right now. The players will not accept a salary cap of any kind, and the players do not believe the owners' numbers about revenue. The players think the owners are making more money than they're reporting.
So that's a story on the labor front. When we come back, the day from overseas, Czech Republic and Germany this afternoon on ESPN. Which team would win its first game of the tournament? Barry and I are back to discuss. Stay with us, everyone.
Let's get some light in here. Hi, I'm Missy. Of course. Do you play tennis? I love pink. Oh, bet your favorite color's black.
No matter what you're into, there's only one way to go back to school. With a Dell built just for you. Right now, get 10% off this Dimension desktop with an Intel Celeron processor. It's yours for the amazing price of $468 after instant savings. Plus, get a free memory upgrade. Notebooks start at $720.
This is Bob. Okay.
Your personalized back-to-school PC. Easy as Dell. Dell PCs use Intel Celeron processors.
I swim the 200. I study sociology. I grind out laps. I cram for tests. I race nationals. I take finals. And when I finish, I'll be ready to start. There are 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and we're all training to perform in whatever we go on to do.
Donka, Nartana. Question, why send a regular email when you could be like Ricky and send Comcast video mail? Yeah, I needed to ask my parents for something, so I sent this. Relish, mayonnaise, old pickles. Send money. To your power's off? It's for effect.
Get video mail free with Comcast high-speed internet in a class by itself.
Earlier today, the Czech Republic against Germany. Patrick Eliáš focused. Zip, zip after one. Second period, the Czech Republic on the power play.
Zidlitsky, great shot from the side. What a great player he is. Plays for Nashville. Jágr played today. All the Czech stars showed up. They played with some passion. They played with some fire. And when they do this, this team is capable of beating anybody. There's Milan Hajduk, healthy scratch last game, puts a puck in the net.
Now Eliáš, as the Czech Republic scores 5 goals in the second period. Now in the third period, Jágr to Vinny Prospal. In he comes 7-1 at that point. And the final score is 7-2. So the Czech Republic gets its first win of the tourney. Germany 0-3.
Well, that's what they expected. The Czechs certainly looked like the Czech Republic, and Germany, we knew were going to finish last in that division. Now the Czechs, or the Swedes and the Finns, are going to play to see who plays them.
So the pool standings, remember, each country 3 games to set the seedings for the single elimination round. The Finland team and Sweden unbeaten. Canada's unbeaten. But coming up for Canada, Barry, they have to take on Russia, and that ought to really give everybody an indication of what will be what here in the single elimination round.
Billy, I can guarantee you the Canadian coaches and the Canadian team did not think the Russians would play like they did. The Russians looked great against the Americans. They were strong. They played with fire. They won physical battles. That is not the Russian team that's shown up to international hockey the last 10 years. They've been very passive. They haven't been a cohesive unit. They haven't had team chemistry. That all changed. Kovalev was great. Kovalchuk was great. The team defense was very, very good. The goaltender, who had only played 1 NHL game before this World Cup, played very, very well for the Russians. So Canada really got a wake-up call. They're going to have to play their best hockey to turn them to beat the Russians come Saturday.
What's amazing is how many great players there are on each of these countries. I mean, it really shows you that the league has become an international league.
The NHL is by far the most universal league in sports. We've got all the best players from every country. Germany. If you're a good hockey player in the world today, you're in the NHL. If you're capable of playing in the NHL, you are in the NHL. The NHL has done a great job of scouting. They go to every backwood place in Germany and Timbuktu. We'll find you if you're any good. And all the great players in the NHL and all the great players right now, Billy, are in the World Cup.
Some of these great players on display next
week. Even in Palo Alto. If there was a good hockey player in Palo Alto, we'd find you.
No ice. Not like in Saskatchewan. European quarterfinal, Tuesday, 1 Eastern, ESPN. The North American quarterfinal, Tuesday, 7 Eastern on ESPN2. And now our favorite part of the segment. Barry, what do you have?
Well, the Yankees, Jeter hit a home run early in the game, but the Oilers are battling.
The Oilers, wrong sport.
Orioles.
Good.
And the Red Sox are continuing to march. What a finish they're having to this season, man.
Red Sox trail the Yankees.
September 17th, the Red Sox and Yankees are playing, Billy?
Boston right now 3.5 games behind the Yanks. They've had a great run to make it close in the AL East.
A lot of Yankee fans are really choking a little bit, man. They're not as cocky as they were a little while ago.
Elsewhere, the Angels and the Indians are scoreless. Oakland, the leader in the AL West, tied with the Blue Jays.
There's no quitting the mighty Jays, Billy.
Guess who got a home run for the Jays?
Delgado.
Barry's the only Jay fan there is in this country. I can safely say that. No, I probably shouldn't say that. But he is a Jay fan. Coming up, Jason Blake, one of the 2 goals for Team USA in the first period against Slovakia. They're up 2-1. Period number 2 comes up after this.
16 players.
Game starts the minute you walked in the door.
1 billionaire.
I'm looking for the qualities that I feel are important.
The prize, $1 million.
Say one thing wrong, bam, you're out of here.
The Benefactor, ABC premiere Monday, September 13th, only on ABC.
Beautiful house.
Lovely garden.
Envious nomads love emerald nuts.
driving up to the game tonight to give away a free can of refreshing 7-Up and $1 million for anyone who can slam dunk on our 7-Up hoop.
Remember that guy who used to be called Wild Thing? The guy who wanted to spend the entire honeymoon indoors? Remember the one who couldn't resist a little mischief? Yeah, that guy. He's back. Viagra. Not all medications are for everyone. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
At West Marine, we've got everything you need to get your boat humming.
Protect your pride and joy with TaylorMade's SST self-supporting covers. And when it comes to cordage, West Marine has the best selection of premium quality New England ropes you'll find anywhere.
West Marine, we make boating more fun.
Hello, and welcome to the neighborhood.
We live across the road. Thank you.
Enormous neighbors love emerald nuts.
ESPN2's presentation of the Toyota World Cup of Hockey is brought to you by the Toyota Tundra Double Cab. Not just big, life-sized. And Samuel Adams. When you're ready for a distinctive brew, Samuel Adams. Always a good decision.
XL Energy Center here in St. Paul. And we heard some whistling from some angry Slovakia fans in the first period. That tends to be a European custom more than, and sometimes if the goaltender in Chicago has let a couple in the old days, why they would whistle maybe to try to get you off. What did you think of the first period?
I like the passion. I like the fact there was second efforts by Team USA. They really stuck to what they believed was going to work in this hockey game, and they drove to the net. They made some plays. They were a little stronger in front of their own zone. Keep in mind, in the first opening periods of each respective games that they played, outshot 35-10 means you weren't prepared to play. They were much better prepared to play in this period.
All right, we've edited some highlights of the first period, and my partner's going to narrate here. It's all yours.
Well, there's a lot of action going on right there, partner, and basically Brian Smolinski's 21 right here. He really battles Radovojevic and ends up scoring the first goal of the game. Then on the power play, a great play by Pavel Dimitrov to find Nagy all alone, and that made it 1-1. Then Jason Blake goes into the net off a pass from Chris Chelios, and this is deemed a goal. It's the right call by everyone involved, and it's a lucky one by Jason Blake, but that's what happens when you drive hard at the net. He went in the net, the puck went in the net, and ends up being 2-1. Meanwhile, Jamie Langenbrunner remains in the penalty box, so it's a power play for Slovakia to begin this second period.
Jamie Langenbrunner had a great chance in the first period to get what would have been the third goal for his team. He is one of the additions tonight. Brian Smolinski, another one who has joined the lineup tonight, has scored. Jason Blake, another one, has scored. Scott Gomez initially had 2 assists. They've changed his second assist to Tony Amonte. Amonte did not have any points coming into the game tonight either. For Slovakia, I think the intriguing thing is that, yeah, they were overwhelmed early, but they've righted the ship, and they've come back and made this a pretty even game despite trailing by 1 on the scoreboard, and they have still a minute of the power play to work on. Held in by Chara. Battled for, and emerging is Paul Martin. Very coolly tried to play it ahead, but it was lost off of Amonte. Onto the back now for Chara. Tapped on by Lintner. Fed back around again by Nagy. He has scored the only goal for Slovakia. Chara once more. Some battling at the front. Rafalski and Nagy are tied up there. Meanwhile, to the outside it goes to Chara again. For the last half minute of the man advantage, Dimitra dealt it back in. Gabrick around behind, right back to Dimitra once more. They look to Nagy in front. Fed back to Lintner, and a shot, and a good pad stop made by Rick DiPietro in goal. Tipped on by Nagy and swung back down again by Rafalski.
I can't believe that pass by Pavel Dimitrov made it all the way through to Lintner. Everyone in the building was expecting that pass, and I don't know how he found a way to feather it between the legs and under the stick.
Ahead now comes Miroslav Shatan. Dealt it around behind, and waiting for it is Gabrick. Just allows it to go to the back to Wisnowski. Big shot, and it's answered by DiPietro and taken by Steve Konowalchuk. Penalty time is up. Shatan again. Then Gabrick. Centering pass is tipped aside. Still they battle, and emerging and then going down to the ice was Chelios, hoping to draw a penalty. Didn't come. Joseph Stumple rocked to the corner boards by Chelios.
Chelios has got the blade of his stick on the inside of the jersey of Stumple.
Team USA shifts from defense to offense, and it's lobbed back down. Earlier we talked about Ron Wilson and the changes that he made and how he probably had to dwell on that. I know he's an experienced coach, but in a high-profile tournament, when you make the significant changes that he did, particularly in the case of 40-year-old Brett Hull, it has to give you a pause the second time. There's a shot by Bill Guerin, and the rebound was sent high by Madano and on back to center.
That's what the big forwards of USA have to do. Put the puck on net and drive hard to the net. The defensemen in Slovakia, except for Zdeno Chara, they can't handle the big physical confrontations in front of the net.
Lobbed on by Ken Klee. Indiana native saw this go to Bill Guerin. Then along to Kachuk. Fed on for Madano, and a save made by Lasek. And then getting a piece of him was Guerin as it's outletted to center and quickly turned back, but lost by Kachuk. Brought back on now by Sturbach. Fed across to Seabach. Seabach a backhander. And that one guided away by the stick of DiPietro. Now Brian Leach. 3 minutes into the second period, and the shot total starting to climb on both sides.
15 to 12 now in favor of the USA. One thing they've got to keep in mind is the goaltender, Lasek, he freezes. He gets himself frozen, and he goes down in the butterfly. You can fake the shot and then make the passes to the outside, and I think he'll become vulnerable.
For rebounds?
Brandon, just his whole positioning, he's not able to move once he goes down. He gets frozen. So Madano's shot there was a good example of somebody maybe going to the far side of the net, and you'd have an easy tap in.
Here's Drury around now for Blake, out there with Scott Gomez centering him. Green's back across, and good hustle by Drury. Took the hit from a pair and got it around behind for Blake. Just the spark is so much different, and it's continued into the second period for Team USA tonight. Now Rafalski on back for control by Paul Martin. Martin nicely sachets away from one, brings it in, and breaks a shot. Guided over to Lasek. Another shot. Save Lasek. Rebound to Chelios to the back. Angles it in. Oh, nice pass in front by Waite. Jabbed at with their sticks and held by Lasek as play is stopped.
Well, with Brian Smolinski on the ice and at even strength, I think this has been the best line for Team USA. Smolinski's one of those key additions here. Out of the lineup, Brett Hull, Craig Conroy, John Michael Lyles. Obviously, Robert Esche is just being given a break. Brian Ralston was, to me, was a bit of a surprise coming out of the lineup. But in comes Brian Smolinski with the goal tonight. Paul Martin, Jamie Langenbrunner added into the lineup. You also have guys like Jeff Halpern, who actually played in Game 1 but didn't play in Game 2. So he's also a change, and he's on a grinding line with Konowalchuk. But I like Smolinski playing the right side here with Doug Waite and Amandi. I think they've been very good.
It's 1,128 career NHL goals taken out of the lineup tonight. The entire Slovakian roster only has about 200 more than that. And that's just with 5 guys. Of course, Hull has 2/3 of it.
Yeah, I think Brett only has 741 NHL goals. All he's got to pass is Gordie Howe and the great one. He admits he can't catch the great one, but if hockey resumes and he spends 2 years in Phoenix and gets to a 25-goal-a-year program, he will pass Gordie Howe.
And he does have a 2-year contract.
And he does.
Here is Waite. Hands it on to Konowalchuk with open ice. Konowalchuk moving in. Save Lasek. He kicked it right back out. That was a bit of an adventure for him, wasn't it?
It was. He's scrambling. He's moving a lot. And he's opening up, meaning his legs are opening up. He's overreacting. They could find a way to make that one move and then slide it between his legs.
Flipped back down by Nagy. Charging right out is DiPietro. Right on to Langenbrunner. He's got a man open on the wing, and Konowalchuk could not take the pass. Around behind it comes, and it ricocheted away from Halpern and is brought ahead for an outlet pass that skipped away from Shatan and then screened off by the linesman. Martin has to recover to Rafalski.
Boy, that all starts with Rick DiPietro. He knew that Slovakia was going on a line change. He hurried up, made the right pass, and if not for a bouncing puck, they've got a good break on the left side.
Shots in this period, 18 total. That means 9 in this period. The U.S. had 9 in the first, and Slovakia had 13. So they've been able to come back out with quite a bit of power. Flipped on back now to center ice for Chelios. I misread that, didn't I? We'll get you the right total. Math was never one of my strengths.
I thought that was your strength, Doc.
Oh, no, not at all.
Well, Slovakia had 9 in the first period, and they've added 3 in this period.
It was Ukrainian history.
I thought my Canadian math was bad.
Scott Gomez tips one ahead. Shot by Drury, fought off. Rebound, Gomez. And it was spiked away and brought back ahead now. Chatan hands it on across. Brought on by Sturba. Tried to work his way by. Oh, and a good chance there. Di Pietro fought off the shot from Joseph Stumple. And it's cleared back down. Play stopped midway, second period, and Team USA still leading by 1.
A lopsided matchup here in the long jump. Taro Basha was facing a Toyota 4Runner.
Basha's final jump, Kenny, 26 feet 8 inches. The 4Runner's leap, as you'll see, is not 26 feet 8 inches.
No, 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 no.
2 feet 3 inches, Kenny. That's what it measured out to. Man in the hat says that's not very good. It's really not that far at all.
No.
I'm out. I guess I win.
Funny how a quality beer can turn a bad hand into a winner. Ooh, Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
Sir, I detect the presence of alcohol. Have you been drinking this evening?
Not really.
1 or 2?
Just a few.
Step out of the car, sir. Step out of the car. Step out of the car, please.
Across the country, cops are cracking down. No matter where you drive, if you drive impaired, you will be arrested. It's simple.
You drink, you drive, you lose.
One of the key players missing for Team USA is Jordan Leopold, who got hurt and had to suffer that concussion. You probably don't recognize him. He had the playoff beard going in the finals with Calgary. First of all, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling about 90%. I'd like to be out there, but it's too bad that rosters had to be set a little while back.
You probably have a little bit more frustration because you're from this area. You're a Minnesota kid. I know this meant a lot to you. Is it difficult to sit and watch?
It is. I walk around the arena. A lot of people recognize me, say hi, and wish me well, and hope I'm doing better. And, I had a big fan section yesterday for the game, and it's too bad I couldn't play in front of them. But, you know, I got to say thanks to those kids from Armstrong Youth Hockey. Thank you, guys.
Good luck to you, Jordan. Thanks for the visit.
All right, thank you.
Guys.
Nice. Armstrong Youth Hockey. You got to love the involvement that the NHL players have with minor hockey. And Doc, the impact that it has on TV when kids are watching. That's the best part of it all, you know. Tryouts are going on right now. A lot of kids are watching hockey. They're getting ready for their season.
You have undoubtedly in your time carted a lot of kids to various practices.
Oh my goodness.
Of the day.
Yeah.
It begins up here.
Yeah, it sure does. And guys like Jordan Leopold are heroes to kids out there.
Here is Smolinski coming in, shooting, and that one knocked down by Chara. And Amonte carried off by Hossa. Amonte regains and twists away, wrestled around a little bit by Dimitra, but now eventually Slovakia can lob it back out. Midway second period, 2-1, Team USA ahead. Smolinski and Blake with goals sandwiched around one by Ladislav Nagy. US 0-2. This is their last preliminary game before the quarterfinals begin next week. 4 teams in each of the 2 divisions. Everyone makes the quarterfinals. Teams finishing last, though, wind up playing the tougher teams at the top. That'll be Germany's problem, playing the winner of Finland and Sweden. Here's a toss in front by Rafalski. Turnaround shot by Amonte, and that one is held. Malashik's been busy. That's 20 shots on his goal tonight. Labor Day weekend, ABC Sports kicks off its 39th consecutive year of college football. All begins tomorrow with a regional doubleheader starting at noon Eastern. It's a full weekend of college football on ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series.
Dougie Waite just had a different right winger out there, and it was because of a line change. Langenbrunner in front of the net, and once again, Waite and Amani causing plenty of havoc in front of the Slovakian net. They could have 3 or 4 in this game, Doc. If they keep going like that, they're going to get a break in front of the net, especially Amani. He's worked hard. That shot, he manages to get pucks on net, and he never stops moving those feet. So that second effort eventually is going to pay off in front of the net. Because he came into this game as a -3, and I know it's something that he wanted to get rid of. That -3 number at even strength happened in the last game.
Boy, did it ever attract some cameras to him. I mean, he's a cordial guy who normally talks to reporters with cameras and lights and pads and pens. But it was a bigger swarm of them today because he was not one of the players pulled out. He was in and had to answer for all of the changes and the frustration the U.S. has. Here's Klee lobbing one in front, and that one booted aside by Wisniewski. Sent around for Konowalchuk. Then to the outside, Halpern. Langenbrunner at the front, but Halpern's still on the outside. Now Konowalchuk. Oh, and then Langenbrunner get a shot away, and he was buried by Gaborik at the front of the net.
And that's what you're supposed to do. You've got a player looking down, searching for the puck. You're supposed to eliminate him. Langenbrunner got smoked, and if he didn't, you'd really question the desire of the Slovakians in front of their net. That's a great shift by Langenbrunner. Right-hand shot. He gets it right on the left side of the screen, right here on the backhand. He's trying to take it from the forehand to the backhand and lift it up. Marian Gaborik, with Jacques Lemaire as his head coach, they talk an awful lot about defense. Gaborik does the right thing here. Eliminate him. Good play defensively by Marian.
Langenbrunner's line has been changed to that of Gomez, as well as Blake, and also it is Drury. Meanwhile, it's lobbed back in by Suchi. Good hit by Drury. U.S. following through on their checks well. Feed came all the way back, and Suchi will have to chase it down at center. So we're about halfway through regulation time. Did this game change for you at all here in the second?
No, I like the start of, actually, Team USA. I think they're plugging and they're mucking and they're grinding down low, and I think that's the way they're going to have to play this game. A simplified hockey game, more in a straight line.
But both coaches talked this morning about that very fact. It's a simple game. We should treat it that way. Too complicated, said Fitch against Canada earlier in the week. Centering pass went away. And I would say Ron Wilson would say the same thing about the game against Canada. Both of these teams have lost to Canada this week. Canada with 1 game left. That's against Russia tomorrow night. Up blocked ahead now and thrown back out by Drury. Regrabbed by Opsu.
Well, one of the differences is the U.S. team playing Russia last night. They were surprised at how passive the Russian team was. They trapped them, and in the neutral zone, the USA continually coughed up pucks with bad turnovers.
Centering pass, and the shot was shanked wide. Radovojevic got a piece of that, but not as much as he wanted. It's sent ahead for Mike Modano. Modano able to outreach Lintner. They cancel, and it's just lifted around, but moving in is Rafalski. Rafalski just glides around behind, angles it on back. Paul Martin with it there. Safe play, and it swirls around for Mike Modano. Native of Livonia, Michigan. Past that, and Lintner turned it over to Tkachuk. No one to pass to, but he screened out a man so Modano could bring it further. Then Tkachuk. Tkachuk a drive, and it's deflected wide. Under 9 to go here in the second period. Still a tight game at 2-1. Rafalski up with it. Shovels one that's blocked aside by Lasek. Battled for by Bill Guerin. He and Lintner tie up on the board. Mike Modano once again. Little help came from Amonte. Good seal up on him by Halinka, kept by Rafalski and foisted right back, and waiting for it, Bill Guerin. Gives on to Modano again. He's got a man breaking to the net, lost it. Rafalski, though, able to play it back to the wall, and eventually a diving brush back to center ice by Lintner.
Mike Modano is one of the best players at the NHL at going to his backhand, and he just feathered a nice little pass to the right point, Rafalski, and I don't know how it got through, but that's clearly one of his strengths.
8:18 to go, second period. The U.S. by 1.
Nice, Livonia.
ESPN puts the spotlight on the highlight with ESPN25 The Book. Available now.
I'm out. I guess I win. Funny how a quality beer can turn a bad hand into a winner. Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
Now that T-Mobile gives you unlimited instant messaging, you can IM nonstop 24/7.
T-Mobile Unlimited IM, just $9.99 a month on Yahoo, MSN, and AOL. IM also available for T-Mobile Pay-As-You-Go. T-Mobile, get more.
Take it to the extreme with the Extreme Labor Day sale at Sears. Do you want a pair of pants or a sky-high pile of denim? All jeans are on sale. Want to watch the big game or watch the game big? All TVs are on sale. And here's the buzz this weekend. All home appliances are on sale. All Craftsman blowers, tons of tools, and Michelin tires at the lowest prices this season. You could even win a $25,000 shopping spree with Ty Pennington. The Extreme Labor Day sale, an extremely good idea. Sears, good life, great price.
It's the Toyota World Cup of Hockey on ESPN2, and we're proud to bring it to you from St. Paul, Minnesota. Joe Micheletti downstairs, Darren Pang alongside, who's laughing about something, and yours truly, Mike Emmerich.
That's not Joe Louis Arena's Mo Cheese, is it?
No, I don't know. Not at all.
You know the fan in Detroit?
Yep.
Yep.
And it's not the knitting lady either. Here's Amonte. And tapped on back. So Slovakia has stayed in this period, and I'm right on this. They have had 4 shots. We have compiled and edited and tabulated that it comes out to 13. And that is all, and they've only had 2 in the last 8 minutes. That is a long time to only get a couple of chances on DiPietro. Hossa chased off, turned over again to the U.S., and a shot blocked aside by Lasik, and letting that one go was Halpern. They swirl some more. Boy, this is energy that we hadn't seen. Leach a shot, knocked down, scramble in front. And it's brought back ahead now by Slovakia. Nagy hands it across, skated down by Hossa. Chased off by Leach. Nagy back around for Hossa behind the cage. And Leach matches him, glide for glide, and so it's just tossed back out again. And Halpern from the checkered line deals it back in.
If Slovakia is going to get back into this game and compete in this tournament, they're going to need more from 2 guys, 2 wingers. 81 and 18, Marian Hossa and Miroslav Shatan. They've got to start becoming prominent players in this game. They've been quiet.
Shatan just gave that one up. It's fed across for Scott Gomez, but this will be called back on an offside. Let's check out the Samuel Adams tournament update. We mentioned earlier, Mika Kiprasov has been outstanding. 2 games, 2 shutouts. Team USA 0-2. That's their worst start since '76. Slovakia 0-4 in the World Cup since the split from Czechoslovakia.
1976, the starting goaltender for Team USA was Tony Esposito. He got his U.S. citizenship and started in goal. Rogache Vashaw could easily have been the MVP that year for Team Canada. Bobby Orr was never a bad pick. His only international experience with Canada was that year.
This is Lasik behind. A sitting encyclopedia. Very impressive. Gabrick couldn't come up with that.
Thought I'd bring something to the table for you, Bob.
Good man. Now it is Drury. Fed one in front, and Blake. Good defensive play made on him. And ahead now flies Gabrick. Boy, Rafalski had a skate in the way, unintentionally, perhaps just in trying to retreat himself. And it was turned over, and here's Blake moving back in again. Blake a shot, oh, and a deceptive one that's grabbed and held by Lasik. Fans everywhere can make a difference on September 7th by showing your spirit. It's simple. Wear your favorite team's apparel to work on September 7th. In exchange, each participant can make a donation of $5 or more to the V Foundation to benefit cancer research. Anyone can participate. Companies, schools, organizations, and individuals. Join ESPN and many other companies by declaring September 7th Show Your Spirit Day. For more details and to sign up, log on to www.jimmyv.org. And another save by Jan Lasik, who played at St. Petersburg, Russia last year in the Russian League. Good with the glove there, but he could see that one all the way. He often, in the Russian League, would talk to the fans as a way to relieve the tension. Did you ever do that?
I try to talk to anybody who would listen. And if it worked, you know, that's great. He's a different style, a more North American and European. He's got a kind of a mixture of those 2 styles.
Kachuk lost it off his stick. It's loose in front. Lasik down on his stomach, but that was right back up again.
That was the European side. That was the Dominik Hasek side, doing snow angels there with the traffic in front of us.
Short of Papashik, he held his stick, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Neutral ice, it's Madonna. Just over 5.5 to go. Still only a 1-goal difference, despite the fact that the U.S. has won some of the significant categories. Brought ahead now by Chelios. Fed it across to the slot. Wait, a shot, and it was just wide of the stick side of Lasik. Wait again, he's got a man in front. Oh, Smolinski couldn't get it home. And so another chance for Slovakia to go back on offense.
What a play by Chelios, though, jumping in on the offense. I like the way that the American team is playing in the neutral zone. They're much more on their toes and aggressive and active. And Chelios started that play.
Oh, a good hit on Waite. Solid hit that came from Martin Sturbach. Good hit. Dimitra crisply across. Pivoting with it now is Radivojevic. Lost, though, by Hossa and cleared back down, and the U.S. will get a chance to change lines on the icing. 4:43 to go, second period, and it's still just a 1-goal game here.
I'm out. I guess I win.
Funny how a quality beer can turn a bad hand into a winner.
Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
Who do you love?
Giants! Steelers! Steelers!
This season, Sports Illustrated wants to help you cheer on your favorite team. And when you do, you'll get a special deal from SI. Start off with an incredible NFL folding chair with the logo of your favorite team, and you'll get this lightweight carrying case, too. Pick a team, any team.
Chargers! 49ers! Go Pack Go!
The choice is yours. It's free when you order 56 issues of SI at $1.59 an issue. You'll save 60% off the cover price. If you call now and pay with your credit card, you'll get another great gift free. Wear your favorite team's colors with pride with this NFL hooded sweatshirt.
For free?
Follow your team and the entire NFL through the pages of SI. SI gives you more in 2004. More access, more passion, more insight, more personality.
Call now, 1-800-257-7900. That's 1-800-257-7900. Or go online at SINFL2004.com. Quantities are limited.
Second period, the U.S. still leading by a goal. Darren Pang was talking about the athleticism of a 6'9" player, Zdeno Chara. These players get ready in many different ways for this tournament, but I don't think anyone else rode in the Tour de France as did Zdeno Chara. 4 stages through the mountains and the Alps did Zdeno Chara ride, about 2.5 hours in front of the regular participants. That's quite a way to get ready for this, isn't it, Panger?
Oh, man, you got that right. And he comes from a family of Greco-Roman wrestling as well. So this guy is very, very athletic. And, fellas, you know how strong he is. I mean, he's 4 times my size, too, huh? My height, Doc. You and me on each other's shoulders, we're not Zdeno Chara.
Well, when you figure the length of the arms and the stick, he could probably stand halfway between the net and the corner and cover much of it.
Man, something else.
Well, you mentioned some guys that have to get it going. Here's Gabrick with a shot, save, rebound, tipped loose in front, it went off Shatan, sent around behind. Shatan and Hossa were the 2 you mentioned, and one of them's out there right now. Gabrick closed off neatly there by Halpern, and to the wall they battle. Shatan there with Paul Martin. It's flipped further and eventually tapped out where Rafalski can bring it ahead with 3 3/4 minutes to go in the second period. Both teams looking for their first win, and it's Team USA's last chance here in the preliminaries. Now it's Blake trying to center, but just nudged to the boards. And coming by now is Joseph Stumple. Lost, though. Fed by Drury. Played back in once more by Ken Cleve. Sturbach had trouble there. Blake again. Around behind. Gomez peels off. Centered one. And a shot by Drury was blocked aside. Chris Drury brings it ahead again. Sailed it on a cross. All of this puck possession. Only 2 shots on goal in the last 9 minutes for Slovakia. And a remarkable play at the net mouth that went off the post. And Drury again reaches. And that one is pitchforked back out again. Oh, remarkable. Well, it's 2-1. Still.
But a lot of second effort work, and I like the way they're utilizing the corners. They're cycling down low. They're getting the Slovakian defensemen spinning and getting them out of position. Lasik comes over. Did it hit the glove? Right off the cuff of the glove. What an outstanding second effort. Spreading over, leaning to his left, I mean, sprawling in a desperate manner, trying to get over there as quickly as he can. And Drury, with Jason Blake, really working it down low. That was a great shift by Blake as well. So Blake gets back into the lineup after playing in last night's game against Russia and played well in a fairly limited role.
Loshik, the East Coast Hockey League Rookie of the Year for Hampton Roads in the year 2000. And in that level, you see a lot of pucks. There's another one. Puck controlled now and dealt around behind for control by Slovakia with 2:40 to go here in the second. U.S. nearly doubling Slovakian shots at 27-14. Oh, what a low bridge hit on Seabach, and play continues. Here comes Bill Guerin. Cannot get by. Now Tkachuk.
Good hit there by Zednik on Tkachuk. But I think when Seabach went in, when Guerin was there, Guerin's hands got up high, but Seabach was really off balance as well.
Let's check in with Bill Pito and Barry Melrose back in our studios, gentlemen.
Mike, thanks. We'll be with you after period number 2. And Barry, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I think we're going to talk about who I think are the 3 best players of the tournament so far. Maybe the most consistent, maybe a little bit of a surprise, but 3 of the guys are really getting the job done.
Men, I've learned.
You're one of them, Billy. You're one of them.
We talk about whatever Barry wants to talk about. Right, Darren?
You got that right, Billy. I love it. Good setup, Billy. What do you want to talk about? What do you got for us, Barry?
Well, there's always something. You throw him anything and he hits it.
Yeah.
Fair or foul. And now comes Hossa. Wrist one to the corner. Good crunch there. Chara shot, and that one deflected away by DiPietro. There is a challenge when you don't get much work in a period, and that's only the 3rd shot on goal in over 10 minutes of playing time for DiPietro to face. But he's handled all of them here. For the last 90 seconds. A centering pass. Oh, and it went off Langenbrunner. He shoots one, and Loshik got that one. It was lost behind him for a moment, but he's able to hang on, and so play is stopped. Still 2-1 in favor of Team USA. Tuesday, the World Cup of Hockey moves into the quarterfinals on ESPN and ESPN2. At 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on ESPN, we'll bring you a quarterfinal from the European pool. And then at 7 Eastern on ESPN2, we'll be back here in St. Paul for an elimination game in the frozen North American pool. For more information on the matchups, log on to ESPN.com. Chelios, Butt, Stumple, then Gaborik. Chatan on the other wing. Stumple moves in, could not swagger by. Chatan picks his way through and has to play it himself off the boards. Now spun to the net, and it went through the crease just wide.
I think Chelios was just grabbing the shaft of the stick of Gaborik to keep him out of knocking that one in the empty part of the net, because that was a good pass from the corner.
Here's Langenbrunner turning it over for the United States, getting it back again. Langenbrunner onto the back to Miller. And now Langenbrunner darts to the bench on a change in lines. 40 seconds to go. Gomez fed it across, fresh from the bench. It's Drury centering one, and it came around behind. Drury up with it again. He has Miller to play to, but he has to recover at center. Tucks a little pass on that winds up being an offside.
Well, Gaborik was in front of the net. In the meantime, Loshik was a part of the Nashville system, and Mitch Korn's their goalie coach. And here's a quote that we've taken. He's a sensitive kid. He's a soft-shelled taco in a hard-shelled game. That's one of the reasons he's not with our organization. So they obviously felt that he was a very talented player in short stretches, but it was that long-term consistency that really hurt Loshik in terms of being a capable NHL player.
Here's Madano, but it's nudged back out. Well, given a normal season in the European leagues, it goes between 40 and 45 games. And over here, a normal season is 82 plus playoffs. You're fortunate to be one of the 16 out of the 30 that makes it.
Well, the guy they chose was pretty good. Thomas Vokoun ended up being their #1 goaltender. So I think of the 2 guys, that was the right guy. A little jostling in front of the net here with Tkachuk battling Chara right in front of the net. Aaron Miller jumps in. Good support by the Canadians to make sure they're all there together.
Well, Team USA is a different team tonight. There's a spark and there's a togetherness that we just didn't see in the prior games. And Chara, the big man, is just the leader of this team.
This could also make Chara a better defenseman. I think he's been relatively quiet. He's had a couple of good hits in this game, but he obviously needs to be a prominent man in front of that net.
runner-up for the best defenseman in the league last year. His team is trailing at the end of 2 by the score of 2-1. It's been a grim night, been a feisty night, and still 20 minutes to go. And maybe an extra 5, you never know.
Okay. Okay, Mike, I know you think your truck is totally sick, but this is what I think of your precious 4x4 hang out all day with your stupid friend's truck! Push it!
Hey, Leroy! We're getting the league back together. Yeah!
Play Fantasy Football League Manager on ESPN.com. Get the league back together.
ESPN College Game Day heads to Death Valley, home of the defending national champion LSU Tigers, for the first full football Saturday.
I want to see if these fans got any pride in their Death Valley.
College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, Saturday at 10:30 on ESPN.
.16-inch softball is a Chicago institution, and Danley is a Chicago institution. Deep dish pizza is a Chicago institution. Chicago institution. Since 1959, it's Danley's Garage World for the finest garages. Now you can own a Danley and get $1,000 off if you call now. 773 Garages. Call 773 Garages and get $1,000 off any new Danley. Danley, truly a Chicago institution.
Danley's Garage World. Danley.
Depend on Danley.
Bill Pito and Barry Melrose back in the studio after 2 periods. It remains Team USA 2 and Slovakia 1. Barry, is the 1-goal advantage indicative of how well Team USA is playing?
No, it isn't. The United States have played their best period of the tournament. They had fire. They won physical battles. They dominated around the net. They had tons of scoring chances. That's the good news. The bad news is they're only 1 goal up to a team that has Hossa on it, has Shatan on it, has Gaborik on it. That is not enough goals. They've let the Slovaks hang around when they shouldn't have. Hopefully it won't come back and bite them.
Team USA with both of its goals in the first period. One of those scored by Jason Blake. After the second period, he talked with Joe Micheletti.
Jason, the guys upstairs have been talking about this is a team that's playing with a lot of spirit in this game. Has it been as simple as that?
No, it hasn't. Obviously, you know, for us, it's almost a must-win for us, and we want to carry some kind of momentum into the, you know, next week. And you know, it's been disappointing the last 2 games, but you know what? You move on, and once the next week starts, anything can happen.
You're a Minnesota native. You're playing for Team USA. You're playing this game in Minnesota, and you score a big goal in this game. What does all that mean to you?
Well, it's great. I mean, it doesn't matter where we're playing or what's going on, as long as you can contribute to the team. And, you know, like I said, we need to win this hockey game. And they're playing good. Their goalie's playing well. And, you know, we need to win this hockey game no matter what. And it is nice to, you know, be able to be from Minnesota and represent your country and play Minneapolis here. It's a thrill for me, and I know it is for the other Minnesota guys in here. But, you know, we got 20 minutes left to go, and our goaltender's been outstanding, and we just got to play hard 20 and hopefully get the win on it tonight.
Thanks for your time. Continued success.
Thanks, Joey.
Blake referring to Rick DiPietro in there for Robert Esch.
Playing very well. DiPietro, tough situation. Team hasn't won a game, but this guy was first pick overall. This is the real deal, and he made that save on the shorthanded chance by Gaborik or by Hossa in the first period. Maybe that'll be the turning point in the game. Maybe that'll win the game for the USA.
In the meantime, no labor talks today. Yesterday, the finale of 3 days of meetings had produced no progress. No formal meetings are set, although they could take place at any time here in the next couple of days. Long story short, Nothing happening.
Well, what's happened is the owners have made 6 proposals. They've all been turned down by the players. If you haven't been following what's happened in the last couple of days, now the owners say they're ready to meet any day. The Players Association are getting together. They said they're going to make a proposal and have it ready at the early part of next week. So hopefully the players will come back with a good proposal. That'll give a starting point. And I know it sounds like a big job, but that gives them about a week to get an agreement done before the September 15th deadline.
Yeah, that is D-Day. If there's no agreement in place, there's going to be a lockout. Earlier on ESPN, we had the Czech Republic taking on Germany. Marek Zidličky.
That's a good job, Billy.
You didn't think I could do it. 1-0 Czech Republic.
All the weapons showed up in this game. Watch right here. Yager comes in. Great goal. He played today. Elias was flying. Sikora was flying. So many weapons on this team. Mladen Hajduk gets a goal there. He was a healthy scratch last game for the Czechs. Certainly with a little bit of passion and fire, the Czechs. Elias, great pull-up move and goal there. So the Czechs needed to win. They wanted to win, and they played very, very well today against the Germans.
Vinny Prospal, third period, makes it 7-1. The Czech Republic wins 7-2. They got 5 goals in the second period. They scored 2 more in the third. And as we take a look at the stats from the game, you see Germany had 30 shots on goal, but the Czech Republic 56 shots on poor Robert Mueller.
Well, Mueller and Jonas both played goal, the second and third goalies for the Germans. They gave Ole the goalie the day off, thank God. But now the Czechs got to wait until the game tomorrow between the Swedes and the Finns to see who they play.
Speaking of the Swedes, Matt Sundin and his guys are unbeaten. We're looking at the standings and taking a look at the top players so far in the tourney when we come back.
This is not a game. This is a job. The kind that wears out your muscles and your mind. And then it asks for more. A lot more. There you go. So find it and bring it. You ready to fill these shoes? Past meets present, the Nike Air Max shootout. Nowhere but Foot Locker.
Think you can fill them?
Don't forget to call, son.
Yep, I got you right in here, Dad.
Sign up for the Family Share Plan, and now the whole family can make unlimited in-calls to each other and any other Verizon Wireless customer anytime without using any planned minutes from our national in-coverage area. Plus, buy one LG 3200 for $29.99 and get one free.
Oh, I need to call her back.
Are you all in? Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
2 more steps, guys. Come on, Mom.
We've been to the video store and the dry cleaners. I think we've been in the car all day. Hardworking engines need a hardworking oil. Pennzoil SUV, truck, and minivan motor oil. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
The World Cup standings so far, each country plays 3 games. That determines the seeds for the next round, and the next round is the single elimination round. Finland, Sweden unbeaten, Canada unbeaten, Russia also unbeaten. Top players so far, Barry?
Well, there's been some players that I think have really excelled. Robert Esch came out of nowhere. This was supposed to be the weakness for the Americans, but in the first 2 games, he was really the only bright light for the American squad, especially in the first period against Canada and Russians, really giving them a chance to win later, which they couldn't do. But Robert Esch has really emerged on the international stage. Mika Kiprasov, well, this guy is one of the great players in tournament because he hasn't given up a goal yet. Yes, he played the Germans and didn't give up a goal, but he also beat the Czechs with a shutout, and we saw what they can do with their offensive talent. So Mika Kiprasov, a carryover from the playoffs, continues to play some great hockey. I think the best forward so far in the tournament has been Matt Sundin of the Swedes. He's a big leader, captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, certainly one of the leaders of this team. He's playing good defense. He's making a lot of plays offensively. He's scoring goals and seeing the ice very well and setting his teammates up. So Matt Sundin of the Swedish national team are playing great hockey for them.
Quarterfinals next week, single elimination. European quarter, Tuesday, 1 Eastern on ESPN. The North American quarter, Tuesday, 7 Eastern, right here on ESPN2. Coming up, DiPietro in there for Robert Esch. So far, so good. 1 goal given up after 2 periods. We're back after this.
I'm going to tell you this one more time. I never bet on baseball.
One of the game's greatest players has engaged in a variety of acts which have stained the game.
It's so against the rules, it's not even...
Oh, the hell with the rules. You know I can't watch a game unless I got something riding on it.
You're going to phone Pete's picks into me. I'm going to then relay that action to New York.
And he now must live with the consequences of those acts.
You sure you want to do this?
Just place the bets, Paul. Come on.
No player, no matter how exalted, is above the game.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Wagner. You know, if you're frustrated by the quality of your sleep or because you have morning back pain, please give us a call right now. It won't cost you a thing except a minute of your time. We'll immediately send you this free video and brochure with all the details about this amazing bed, including complete descriptions of all our bed models, prices, and options. You'll have all the information you need to make a decision that can truly make a difference in your sleep.
It's been amazing, the difference that the Sleep Number bed has made with my sleep personally. I have not woken up with back pain at all, not once since we've gotten it.
I switched from an innerspring mattress to a Sleep Number bed, and now I sleep better than ever.
It's the only bed I know of that's clinically proven to improve your sleep quality and relieve back pain. And it also costs about the same as a traditional innerspring mattress, yet it lasts twice as long. Now, like most of us, before I got my Sleep Number bed, I used to toss and turn during the night. I'd wake up, roll over, find a comfortable position, and then go back to sleep. But on a Sleep Number bed, I actually sleep all the way through the night. And I didn't realize I wasn't getting a good night's sleep until I experienced one on a Sleep Number bed. I also noticed that I have more stamina during the day, and I know it's because I'm getting a more recuperative sleep. So why don't you call us right now and see if it isn't true for you as well.
Call for your free information kit. Sleep Number beds are easy to own, coming in all standard sizes with queen-size mattresses starting as low as $20 a month. Learn about our 20-year limited warranty and risk-free 30-night in-home trial. Call 1-800-701-8686. On a Sleep Number bed by Select Comfort, you can fall asleep faster, sleep more soundly, and wake up more refreshed. Call 1-800-701-8686. We'll rush you this free video, brochure, and price list. That's 1-800-701-8686. The Sleep Number bed is the key to a perfect night's sleep. Call now.
It's the first full Saturday of college football. Bowling Green against Oklahoma on ABC. Miami of Ohio and Michigan. Both those games at noon Eastern. And then at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, Oklahoma State against UCLA. Wake Forest against Clemson. Michigan State against Rutgers. 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Barry, a developing situation in the American League East.
The trend is continuing. The Yankees are losing and the Red Sox are winning. So if this continues, 2.5 games behind, folks.
In the AL West, Oakland leads Anaheim by 4. Anaheim is back 4.5 in the wild card situation. Angels, though, could pick up a game on the A's as they lead the Indians while Oakland is losing at Toronto.
No quitting the Jays, Billy. They're 40 games out, but they're not going to quit.
Carlos Delgado's 25th home run of the year. Over in the National League, Houston is 3 out in the wild card, and the Dodgers lead the NL West. Best team in all of baseball, the Cards. They lead LA 1-0 in the top of the third. Team USA, 2 goals in the first period, none in the second. Third period to come. Can Team USA get its first win of the World Cup tournament?
Happy anniversary.
I am so lucky. Ace Hardware is having a sale.
Stop in and save on hundreds of items at the 80th anniversary sale. This weekend only at Ace, the helpful place.
Take it to the extreme with the Extreme Labor Day sale at Sears. Do you want a pair of pants or a sky-high pile of denim? All jeans are on sale. Want to watch the big game or watch the game big? All TVs are on sale. And here's the buzz this weekend. All home appliances are on sale. All Craftsman blowers, tons of tools, and Michelin tires at the lowest prices this season. You could even win a $25,000 shopping spree with Ty Pennington. The Extreme Labor Day sale. An extremely good idea. Sears. Good life, great price.
ESPN2's presentation of the Toyota World Cup of Hockey is brought to you by the Toyota Tundra Double Cab. Not just big, life-sized.
Well, here in the heart of St. Paul, on the grounds where there was a St. Paul arena before this one, but this, the big, bright, and beautiful one that has fans of both teams here tonight. And it is 2-1 in favor of Team USA over Slovakia at the end of 2. There were a couple of penalties at the end of the period. Kachuk and Chara got cross-checking penalties at the 20-minute mark, so it'll be 4 against 4 at the start of the third. What do you expect?
Well, that's good for the USA to get Chara off the ice. They've had enough pressure in front of Lasik, the goaltender for Slovakia, that eventually they're going to peck away and score another goal. The next goal is huge. It goes 3-1 or it goes 2-2. So don't underestimate the Slovakians. It's a small country, but they're a very proud country, and they haven't got enough from their top guys. Hossa, Gabrick, and I would think that Shatan need more offensively.
Well, Chris Chelios is the captain of this team. He has captained 2 other major international teams for the United States. He probably had a lot on his mind going into this one as to how he would lead this team. He has been a powerful guy and a force in this league for over 20 years.
Is he ever? And does he ever do a lot of work for charity as well? And I know that he's got himself in a situation on September 8th. He's got his golf tournament for Chelly's charity and all the children that he supports there. And then he's got a celebrity jam at the House of Blues. All you Chicago fans there, this guy's been great to Chicago. He's got Kid Rock performing at the House of Blues. This guy's got a lot on his table. He's got a house in Malibu. He's got a place in Michigan. He works out like crazy with T.R. Goodman in Venice Beach, California. And now he's trying to win a gold medal here for the World Cup.
Well, it is not much in the way of comebacks in this tournament, and that almost reflects what you would see in a normal NHL season. The first goal has meant so much. We talked about it so much in the playoffs last year, too. If you have the lead after 2, there have been 7 of those in the prior games, and all 7 resulted in victories. 5 teams have led after 1. They have gone on to victory, too. 7 games have been played so far. This the 8th one, and we hope you're enjoying it here. It is remarkably close, considering the fact that the U.S. has dominated in a lot of the categories. But it has stayed close because of DiPietro being very focused despite having not much work. And the fact that there is a spark to this team, especially their offensive line, because of the infusion of younger players here tonight.
But, Doc, we had a saying in the locker room. I don't know why it made sense, but a 2-1 lead on home ice is the worst lead in hockey. If the Americans take it for granted here and don't respect the firepower of the top 6 forwards of Slovakia, this could quickly be a 2-2 game, and now they're on their heels and scrambling. They've got to really battle here.
A shot is shrugged high by DiPietro and hacked down, and a backhander. That one kicked aside as Rafalski got in the way. A shot by Sturbach, and that one is deflected away by DiPietro. This is the 4-on-4 action, and it is turned back over to the United States, and so ahead with it now is Rafalski.
And those are some good saves by Rick DiPietro. It's not easy staying here. You're in your home country. You're not getting much action. Lasik on Slovakia is playing excellent at the other end. All the pressure's on in their end, and it's away from you. So mentally, you've got to somehow stay sharp. And I think DiPietro's done an excellent job of that in this game.
Puck tapped into him. Right hand catching goalkeeper. Swings it crisply along now for Aaron Miller. Set up at center, but then just very quickly lost and turned right back now for Slovakia. Tapped along by Marian Gabrick. And along at jam by DiPietro. Laid back out by Leach. Re-grabbed at center and sent on by Sturbach. Some table tennis now, but it's blocked down and then hacked loose to the corner. Onside play. Just some play between the lines for a moment, but now it is thrown back out, gloved aside. Both teams are watching the defensive side of the game very well, and a hand pass is ruled, and so play is halted.
Face-off will be in the neutral zone. Rick DiPietro got his left shoulder on this good shot right here, and it's by Suchi, and it's rolling a little bit. Boy, did he ever keep his eyes on the puck. Rafalski's there, everybody's looking at it. You're trying to watch that puck come into your body. And the minute you take it for granted and take your eyes off the puck, it could change direction. Because that was wobbled, it could drop a little bit. I've really liked his focus and his concentration in this game.
Young man from Winthrop, Massachusetts, where Mike Eruzione lives these days. Now here's Dimitra. Early stages of the third period. Pavel Dimitra brings it ahead. Hands it on. Drop back by Chara. Dimitra moves in, and a save made by DiPietro again. Oh, the holes are opening up for Slovakia.
Exactly.
Here comes Bill Guerin, drops back to Kachuk. Tapped it back to a point that was just vacant. Leach had not arrived yet. Brought on now by Hossa, and offside is called. Four teams comprise the North American division that you're watching here. The 2 that you're seeing tonight, as well as Canada and Russia, they play tomorrow night in Toronto. And at this point, there is a possibility that Russia, the United States, and Slovakia could finish their 3 games with records of 1 and 2. And it's first against fourth, second against third. And you get to the quarterfinals, and you lose in the quarterfinals, that's it.
Potentially, Russia could control the fate of others and who they play, depending on how they finish up, Doc. It's a possibility. I know we're jumping forward there, but
that's a suspicious tone you have. Shot went wide. Kept on back by Leach. Think they might want to pick their opponent? Is that what you're saying, sir?
Be careful when you do that, but it's a possibility that they would be in control to do that.
Here is Blake. Blake backhands one in front, and it's cut off and held by Lasek.
Well, let's peruse through the standings that we have right here. On the North American side, Canada with their 2-0 start and 4 points, a wonderful start. Russia played awesome in last night's game, very controlled, very methodical, and they've got a great counterattack game. Slovakia 0-1, and the U.S., of course, right now, as we all know now, losing to Canada and losing to Russia last night. They need this win for morale purposes.
A shot by Smolinski, another shot by Smolinski, and that one rocketed away. Flip back on, and Tony Amonte keeps it alive, dealing it around 4. Doug Waite. Waite screened off for a moment, but now can recover. Amonte was cruising, hoping for a pass at the slot area, but instead it is just wheeled off the boards and back down.
Good support by Amonte, knowing Rafalski was going to go pinch on the right side. He's the high forward. He's the third man, and he's back to cover up defensively.
Waite chased down at center, but it is turned back over to Smolinski. In case teams are tied at the end of their 3-game preliminaries, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head competition. The second is goal differential in the 3 games total. And the third is a coin toss.
Is it really?
Yeah. American Hockey League had that as their very last of the 7 tiebreakers for many years. Never got to the third one. It's always kind of interesting to see it there. Here's Chelios hacking it further, turns it back ahead. Langenbrunner can wind it on, and so Team USA turns now with Flea dealing it in, and Konowalchuk back. Shoulders there with Chara, and it's Lintner. Away from Langenbrunner's forecheck. Some trouble now for Slovakia in their own end. Good work by Madano, and now Langenbrunner's line comes off. So that means it'll likely be Bill Guerin and Tkachuk, and yes, that's the combination they bring on. So now it's Aaron Miller. 5 minutes have been played in the third period. Shots are 30-17 the United States. Guerin a shot, and that one carefully trapped and held by Lasek.
Well, good save by Lasek with no rebound there on the big line of Team USA. Let's take a look at the European side of the bracket. Find out what's going on there. If you haven't caught on or caught up with the games that we've been showing on ESPN and ESPN2 in the afternoon with the time change. Finland with a perfect 2-0 record, and their goaltender Mika Kiprasov, as Barry Melrose talked about, excellent so far. Sweden, we knew they'd be there, depending on their goaltending situation. Czech Republic finally winning. Finally, Yager broke through with a good one.
Leach's shot, and it hopped off Lasek. Rebound could not be sent to the front, as in the way and clearing it along is Obsut. U.S. deals it back in again, quickly sent around by Suchi. They cannot lift it out. Good concentration by Team USA, but now bringing it ahead is Hossa. Dangerous on the wing. What'll he do? A shot just sailed wide of DiPietro.
And he had a forward back, too. That was Doug Waite, the forward. I mean, Hossa, I'm surprised that he didn't challenge him more and maybe drive harder to the net instead of taking that shot from the weak angle.
Into the glove of DiPietro from Dimitra, and so Rick DiPietro will hold on.
Well, the U.S. with Keith Tkachuk and Billy Guerin on the ice. Brian Leach's shot from the left point nearly deflected in front by Dougie Waite. Tony Amonte right there diving on that puck. Smolinski in front of the net. It's going to go to the left side of the body there of Lasek. He's trying to battle there with his vision with Obsut in front of his vision right there, the defenseman.
Tkachuk has stayed out there now with Gomez as well as Drury. Tkachuk and Bill Guerin were the only 2 American-born players to have over 25 goals last year. Tkachuk 33 and Guerin 34. Well, it is 2-1 U.S. still here in the third.
My cousin told me about a Class 5 this way. We're going to take a Class 5 Rapids. Bring it on! All right, let's do it. take a Class 3 and a Class 2, that's like taking a Class 5, right? I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah. Absolutely.
It'll get you there. The rest is up to you. The largest, most powerful forerunner yet.
The itching and burning of athlete's foot. This is the latest way to get rid of it. This isn't. Lotrimin Ultra, the latest prescription strength medicine available without a prescription. So powerful, one use a day is all you need. Lotrimin Ultra.
Red Stripe would like you to visit our beautiful website, redstripebeer.com, where you can see Lennox Lewis box me in a friendly bout.
Visit redstripebeer.com and drink responsibly.
Time. Get a $50 mail-in rebate when you buy 4 select Bridgestone Dueler tires.
Well, there's one Rick DiPietro that looks cool and calm and is stopping just about everything tonight. There's another Rick DiPietro that doesn't seem quite as cool. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Nervous, but and excited, but I'm fine.
Did you get a chance to talk to Rick at all today before this game?
Yeah, talked to him. I had breakfast with him this morning.
He seemed fine. How about to you?
Yeah, he's fine. He's very confident. He was hoping that he'd play, and he's glad that he's there. So he's doing well.
Do you hope that he has to make more saves, or there are no more shots in this game?
Well, you know, I was saying at the end of the second period, if it ended 28-15, 15's not a lot of shots, but I'll take it just that way. But hopefully he does as well the rest of the third as he's done the first and second.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome, Joe. Thank you.
Guys.
Okay, Rick and Joe. Boy, what a wonderful save he made on a breakaway in the first period against Hossa.
You bet he did. He's made the timely saves in this hockey game, and has he ever matured as a goalie? How about the look of him today? He's changed his physique. He has worked out hard. He's put on 15 pounds. He's got 4% body fat. The pipes on him were unlike any goalie I've ever seen. Unbelievable, the dedication that he's had in that area.
Well, traditionally, goalies have the worst bodies, right?
I didn't say that.
No, it's in the textbook.
Oh,
you wrote. I saw it. And your picture was right next. Well, never mind.
Yeah, I know. I was looking. I couldn't believe it. Just the fact that he wants to get stronger. The one thing you have to be careful about is the lack of flexibility when you get as strong as he's getting right now. But he's been determined to get to 200 pounds so that during the year you're going to lose weight. He wants to be strong. He wants to be able to play 70 games. He sees what Marty Brodeur does. Although Marty, no offense to Marty, but he doesn't have this guy is phenomenal how strong he is. And I was talking to his dad this morning, and he mentioned to me that in Chicago, there's a sports shop named Gunzo's, and the Blackhawks used to deal with all their equipment that way. And they had a set of my pads on display there, and they were for sale. They were a little white pair of pads that I wore. Rick was just a youngster then, young goalie. And he
so they'd fit?
Yeah, well, he was probably 8, and they were going to fit him, but he was really impressed by the equipment and the look of it, and he really wanted his dad to buy these pads, which were mine. They were $1,100, and his dad felt awful. He just could not afford to buy his son these pads at the young age, but he said he's always been just so excited about the goalie's equipment.
Did you say $1,100?
$1,100
for the autograph?
They weren't autographed, and they didn't stop many pucks, so I don't know.
Not many marks on them.
I think they're overpriced.
Well, this is a game that has ground down through 8 minutes now. Very defensive-minded. A lot of play between the blue lines. Team USA with it, though. Right out in front. Oh, and it rolled off a stick. They jam away at it with their sticks at the
loose.
Drury tried to get it home and could not. Oh, and Loshik on top of it.
Good jamming play there by the U.S. Real good work there. Jesse Gomez give the goalie a pat on the helmet. That's great stuff right there. Great stuff, because he knows he's going to get drilled as well. Jason Blake makes a smart play here. You know you're going to get hurt or hit when you do this. You're going to pay the price. He actually knocks into Gomez, and then it was Zednik that dumped right back into Gomez as well and drilled him from behind. And Loshik held his ground quite nicely right there. Little Blake is on his left leg, but he manages to maintain control and get control of that loose puck.
You will not run into many forwards that go through traffic and have the sense of humor that Gomez does, as well as the smile on their face constantly.
He's unbelievable.
Not many guys smile while they're playing.
He's such a good-natured guy, and it's hard just not to really like being around him. It's infectious.
DiPietro, little trouble there. Oh, and And the puck skipped right out in front and off the stick of guess who? Hossa again.
When you look at Hossa, Shatan, and Gaborik, only one shot between those three great offensive players. That's a problem for Slovakia.
Tuesday, the World Cup of Hockey moves into the quarterfinals on ESPN and ESPN2. At 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on ESPN, we'll bring you a quarterfinal from the European pool. And then at 7 Eastern on ESPN2, we'll be back here in St. Paul for an elimination game in the North American pool. For more information on the matchups, log on to ESPN.com. And Sweden will play Finland on ESPNbroadband.com. You can see that key game that will determine first place in the European pool, 1 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. So will Forsberg and company be able to get a goal on Kiprusoff?
Yeah, a good question right there. That's the one reason why I like the Finnish team. Their goaltender can flat out win a game, and in a short tournament like this, there's no more valuable player than that. It's a shame that the great effort of Robert Esch had gone for naught in 2 games.
Cross-checking penalties to Chara of Slovakia and Doug Waite of Team USA. So it's 4 aside, and that was dangerous for the United States earlier in this period, right at the start, when we had a pair of coincidental penalties at the end of the second. Goal scoring was in the first. Smolinski and Blake for the U.S., surrounded by one from Nagy for Slovakia. No scoring in the second. Carefully played, artfully played by both goalkeepers since that time. Not a lot of great chances for Slovakia allowed, but Rick DiPietro occasionally gets a surprise and has reacted brilliantly to them. Coming in here after Robert Esch played the first 2 games. Good hit on Madano. Forced right back around near Gaborik, closed off by Langenbrunner. Cannot get very far, taken out by Sturbach. To the back it comes to Miller, lobs it around for Langenbrunner, but it chipped back on for Wisnowski. Tries the other side, and Madano in the way. Good work here. Leach then pressed to the boards. Forced on back, and is carried back out by Wisnowski. His pass came right over to Leach, turns it back in an opening now. Madano with Langenbrunner. Drive! Oh, and a ripper that went by the glove hand of Lasik and sailed around the glass.
What a shift by Brian Leach, though, at the blue line. It takes a certain amount of patience and composure to hold the line and not prematurely leave it. And because of that, he was able to set up Mike Madano on the left side.
Here's Rafalski, handing on now to Scott Gomez. Gomez glides away from one. Gomez's shot, fought off by Lasik. Rebound is tapped on back. It's Rafalski. Back over to Paul Martin with it for Team USA. Flipped one that is cut off by Dimitra. A stick broken. That's Hossa's. He has to get a fresh one from the bench. 10 seconds left on the coincidental minor penalties, and we're past the halfway point of period 3.
Martin has also shown great composure. And even there, when he fuddled up the puck a little bit, he still held on strong and made a play.
Slovakia shifting from defense to offense. Players come out of the box, so it's full-strength action now. And a pass over 2 lines to Tony Almonte. Boy, it's been a closely played contest, and it's still just a 1-goal game.
Hey, Fred! Come on! We're getting the league back together! Okay. Come on now! The league's on! Hey, Dwayne! We're getting the league back together! League! The league!
Play Fantasy Football League Manager on ESPN.com. Get the league.
Okay, everybody good? Sister Mary? Good. Okay, so then we click on... Robin, what's wrong?
I'm used to dial-up. This high-speed internet is scary.
With Comcast, it's totally easy. Ready?
Okay.
Double-click on that. You're on the internet.
Really? Can I click that?
Sure.
That?
Yep.
That?
No! Just kidding, you can totally click on that.
Comcast high-speed internet in a class by itself.
Add beauty and elegance to your home with stylish new lights from Menards. Choose from chandeliers, wall, and ceiling lights by Patriot, all on sale. This arabesque antique brass ceiling light is just $24.99. This stunning chandelier only $99.95. Brighten your rooms with long-lasting decor bulbs by Sylvania. They're perfect for chandeliers. On sale just 99 cents for a 2-pack. For great lights, shop Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
The Toyota World Cup of Hockey on ESPN2. Some Slovakians are here. Their team is behind by a score of 2-1. All the scoring in the first period. Changes in the lineup. Hull, Conroy, Lyles, Esch, Ralston out. Smolinski has a goal tonight. Paul Martin has been solid. Langenbrunner has 2. And Team USA even changed goaltenders. That was pre-planned. They followed through with that plan. Robert Esch was sensational in the first 2 games. Made 42 stops against Russia last night.
Oh, it was so one-sided. It was Jim Craig in the early stages of the game against Russia in 1980. It was just an outstanding performance, both games by Esch.
Little over 8.5 to go now. But Slovakia still probing, deals one in, and it's stopped by DiPietro. Another line change for Slovakia. I would think that they're going to try to get Hossa and Shatan out there and Gabrick about every other shift, just alternating. They sure haven't produced much offense.
They haven't. They haven't done very much at all. So give the Americans credit for their attention to detail.
Chant of USA. The feed wide by Kachuk. It's off the shoulder. Regathered and brought back ahead now by Visnovsky. And a shot went wide. Chipped back around and away from Linka. They have to regather at center down to the last 8 minutes.
Yeah, good line change, too, by the Madonna line. Get out there, get some fresh legs in there. 7.5 minutes to go. Late in the game, when there's fatigue, there's mental mistakes. You've got to stay sharp and shorten your shifts.
Visnovsky chased away by some good checking that came from Halpern. Laid back out by Miller. Langenbrunner foists it ahead, right to Konowalchuk. Wrist shot, kicked right back. Slovakia can peel with it now. Dimitra gave it back across. Sturbach lobbed it on. It's dealt back in wide of DiPietro. Just planes it with his stick around behind. Bounced okay for him. Big ooh went up from the crowd. Konowalchuk popped it back ahead. Moving back on now is Scott Gomez. He's all alone. His team is changing lines. Tangled up in the referee skates. Now Gomez has gotten reinforcements, but the puck over to Dimitra. Down to 7:10 to go in the third period. It's been a 1-goal game since 6:06 was left in the first. Ahead with this now is Blake. Backhanders sent aside by Lasek. At the wall, it's Hossa. Tangles with Gomez. Big Zdeno Chara pushed it behind, and Richard Littner up with it there for Slovakia. Gave it up to the point, though. A wrister by Rafalski pops high, directing traffic Lasek. Shots are 35-17. A feed in front, headed away by Lasek. Dives out, and the puck winds up underneath. A little rough stuff afterwards.
From behind. Not from front, not the Chara play. He's just protecting his net, but it was from behind. That looked like Doug Waite took a pretty good elbow. Good pressure, though. This started with Scott Gomez moving his feet. When he moves his feet, he gets to pucks, and he's able to make a play. In front of the net there, you see Littner's on the puck, so Chara comes in with a cross-check to the forearm, but it was the other player behind him. I thought it might have been Nagy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Number 27 in the white jersey of the Phoenix Coyotes, Ladislav Nagy.
Well, the big guys are always watched. The small ones get away with more, and Nagy compared to Chara, like anybody, is smaller.
Chara cross-checks down low, right on your forearm, right in between where your elbow pad and your shoulder pad are. So, I mean, he gets you good.
Slovakia shifts to offense. If they can get it out, and they cannot. Good heady work by Smolinski. Amonte burrows in. Good shoulder on Stumple. Stumple recovers. They hurriedly play it back across. They're anticipating a hit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you finish your check and don't skate away from the guy. Then you get the happy feet when you're the guy that's going to get hit.
Wade back ahead for a flip that came to Madonna. Steers it on out. Guerin can't get there, held up. Neither could Kachuk. Madonna again battling at center. Walked ahead now and dealt back in by Miroslav Shatan. Not much has been heard from him. Hossa's had a couple of good chances. He hasn't scored. It's skipped out of play. 3 goals in this game tonight. We'll review them in just a moment.
Once again, a happy birthday to ESPN. 25 years of great sports coverage.
Hey, Tank.
What exit? Walkie-talkies get it done. Next hoe.
I'm more of a Molly Hatchet fan myself.
Sorry.
I want another championship so bad, it hurts. But I worked through it with the new Icy Hot Sleeve.
Joint-hugging pain medicine that starts icy to dull the pain, then gets hot to relax it away.
Get the new Icy Hot Sleeve. Hard-working pain relief.
Log on to redroof.com and save a bundle with Red's hot deals. It's so simple, even your boss can do it.
Get online for Red's Hot Deals.
And save yourself some dollar bills. Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
It's a 2-1 hockey game for the USA. In the first period, Brian Smolinski did a great job of fighting off the Slovakian player. Then, on the power play, a great setup to Nagy to make it a 1-1 game before Jason Blake has made this a 2-1 game off the pass from Chris Chelio has fallen into the net. And that's where we stand.
We keep an eye out to see if Gabrick is out there or whether you see 81 Hossa or 18 Shatan, and right now, none of them. Lobbed out to center. Those are the more likely candidates on what is an impressive offensive team that has been limited to 1 goal again tonight so far by Rick DiPietro and the tight-checking Americans.
Well, the big guys on the Slovakian team, the guys you really count on, the premier top 6 forwards on this team, Hossa, the breakaway in the early part of the game, that's his 1 shot. Shatan, 0 shots. Marian Gabrick has not been able to get loose like he did against Canada. They made good outlet passes to Marian Gabrick. I think the U.S. team is much better prepared for that outlet pass and springing them loose.
Here's Martin's shot, and that one ricocheted wide and hopped away from Gomez off the boards. Flipped back out and away from Hossa at sent. Dealt back in once more by Dimitra. Pitched back out again by Martin, who's been very cool in this first major international game for him in the World Cup in front of the home fans here near where he grew up. Brought back ahead now by Hossa. Grew up in Minneapolis. This is St. Paul. You have to say new.
Yes, you do.
Otherwise, you're run out of town. Thrown back off now by DiPietro. Tipped further. And grabbed off again by Nagy, steered back in. They've got Hossa near the front of the net. They can't get it there. It's lifted on by Waite, and it went off Chara out of play into the U.S. bench. 4:31 to go.
It actually bounced off Chara's body and into the USA bench. Ty Conklin, the backup goaltender for tonight's game, and handed that off to a fan behind the net. Chelios did a great job beforehand on a breakout in his own zone. And the communication that you get there, as you see that he has represented and put his body on the line for the United States. What a proud, fierce competitor that expects to play at least 1 more year with the Detroit Red Wings.
Has sort of a surly snarl a lot of the time with his game. That'll oftentimes make up for a little bit of size disadvantage because the guys have gotten bigger since he came in. Still representative in terms of size at 6'1", 190, but the average now is about 205.
Yeah, in 20 NHL seasons, the most unique number and stat that I found was he's the first Blackhawk defenseman to lead the team in scoring, and that happened in 95-96.
Here's a chance for Guerin. Score!
Play by Guerin to freeze the goaltender. He has the puck on his forehand after this giveaway here by Suchi. A poor giveaway. Madonna picks it off, freeze him there, go to the backhand, and with the goaltender doing the Snow Angels with his belly on the ground, Guerin's able right here to freeze him, go to the backhand, and hoist it right under the bar. The goaltender in a prone position, and a great move by the power forward, Billy Guerin.
Icing is called. Many fans are standing here to salute Team USA. What a dogged bit of work, and now they have a goal lead of 2 with 3:34 to go. When you get into coaching, I only can imagine that you dream of helping your team get better and giving them a chance to win by making decisions. And coming into this night, there were a lot of decisions Ron Wilson made, not only in goal, but with 5 different players out on the ice in front of the goalkeeper, and in getting line combinations together. And that line combination that he put together tonight with Tkachuk and Guerin on either side of Madonna just clicked.
Well, he saw that 96 when they really were a powerful force as a 3-man unit. So you go back to the magic that happened in the past. And I think at the other side of the ledger, there's a lot of times coaches make decisions and they don't work. Like Vladimir Ruzicka of Czech Republic sitting Milan Hajduk in a game, and they end up losing badly. And so in this situation, you have to make hard decisions. The bottom line isn't just showing a bunch of great players, here's your jersey, go play. It's we've got to get better, we got to win here. So it ends up being a good change here.
Zednik a shot, and it came back. And it's tipped on back to center, so Slovakia will have to regroup. The deficit now for them is 2. The time is 2 3/4 minutes as Leach waits for the U.S. to make another change, then banks a pass ahead. Pivoting back is Drury. Little 4 corners, Leach able to turn it back out. Jason Blake is smeared to the wall. Oh my goodness, did he ever get plastered.
Sturbach of the Pittsburgh Penguins just drilled him.
U.S. getting to the pucks first. Kind of characteristic, particularly in the third. Around it comes now to Hossa. Hossa just dumps it back out. Paul Martin takes over there. 2 1/4 to go. Shots 36-17. Goal scorers Smolinski, Blake, and Guerin tonight. Nagy for Slovakia. No shots in the last 14 minutes for Slovakia. U.S. just like sharks out there. Some of it's Slovakia and some of it's the Americans. You take away their will sometimes, you take away their courage, and there's just not any way to get there.
That's right. There's no jump from Hossa. I'm really surprised.
Give away here, and Waite could not control. Then it came in front, and it kicked off Logic. Smolinski was right there, but could not get a shot away. And it's all the way down now on DiPietro. Flings it ahead off the stick of Leach. And we're nearing the last 90 seconds of this. Unlike last night when it was 3-1, and there were a lot of sloop shoulders at the U.S. bench and just not that persistence. You see puck pursuit, good forecheck, following Slovakia back into its own end, trying to make a mistake. That's certainly what happened on the goal that will not be the winner if the score doesn't change, but the insurance goal. Here comes Guerin again with Tkachuk. Guerin a shot, save, rebound, and it's turned aside by Loschek. Lifted on around as we're down to the last minute 5. Chara after this one. Bill Guerin waltzes him to the corner and presses him. Now it's Joseph Stumpel. Slovakia will have one more game left after tonight. That will be with Russia.
I'm surprised that they're not pulling the goaltender. I know there's 4 goals against differential, but get your goalie out of the net and get an extra man in there with an opportunity to maybe score another goal and make it a 3-2 game. But they're not doing that, the Slovakians are.
The chant is USA. The play is Slovakia's in the USA end. Gomez with a forearm shiver to the neck. And back out now comes Blake. Blake, the Minnesota native, lobs it back in. 18 to go.
Good effort by the U.S. Very good effort. Good second effort in this game all the way around.
Konowalchuk dealt it to the corner. It's all over but the shouting. Let's hear some of that. The United States has defeated Slovakia. Rick DiPietro in goal. Rick DiPietro in the stands applauding. 3-1.
Good effort. Good effort. Rick DiPietro Sr.'s got to be very proud. Good situation for Rick to come into. The team was a lot more determined in the way they were going to play. There was a lot more intensity. They battled for second pucks around the boards, and they kept it in deep. And they had several glorious chances in out-shooting the Slovakians 39-17 in this game.
Well, an impressive night for Team USA. Smolinski, Nagy, Blake, and Guerin with the goals total on the night. Back to Bill and Barry in the studio. All right, guys, thank you very much. So Team USA gets his first win of the tournament. Ron Wilson makes all the changes for this game. What's he going to do for the next game?
I think the one thing for sure, I think Brett Hull will be back in the lineup. A motivated Brett Hull and angry Brett Hull. This guy led them in scoring in '96. He's one of the greatest goal scorers in NHL history, 3rd overall. They got to get his firepower back in the lineup. So it was a wake-up call for Brett. It was a wake-up call for the team. It worked, but I think Brett for sure will be back in the lineup, and I think Esch will be the goaltender in the first round of the medals.
Team USA with 3 goals. They only had 1 goal in Game 1 and only 1 goal in Game 2, and they got off the schneid quickly here early in the first period. It's Brian Smolinski.
But the goals are scored because the Americans are winning physical battles. They didn't do that in the 2 previous games. Right here, Chara, big shot from the point, gives up a bad rebound. DiPietro did. Really his only mistake of the night. Nagy gets the goal. And watch right here, great play by Blake. He went to the front of the net. Yeah, it's a lucky goal, but if he didn't go to the net hard, that goal would not have happened. Right here, you're going to see finally forecheck and pay off for the Americans. I thought they worked very hard in the Slovakian end, and Guerin got rewarded with a goal. So the Americans won because they worked hard. They won physical battles. They played like Americans tonight. They play with some heart. They play with some soul. North American players have to play like that. They're not finesse players. They're not outside players, perimeter players. They're guys that go to the front of the net, and they're guys that win physical battles.
Let's take a look at the standings now as Team USA is finished with its 3 preliminary games, likely locking up a 3rd seed in the North American pool. How significant, Barry, to be a 3rd seed as opposed to a 4th seed?
Well, it's important for the Americans because they will play in St. Paul, which is good for them. You don't want to finish 4th and have to play Canada in Canada, which is a very tough job to do. So you got to think, I think Canada will beat Russia. I think Canada will finish first. I think they'll play Slovakians, and I think Russia and the United States will be 1-2 or 2-3.
Earlier today, if you missed us, we had Czech Republic and Germany on ESPN. We had Marek Zidličky here breaking up a scoreless game in the 2nd period. Czechs went up 1-0, and they just rolled from there.
You're getting good with the Czech names right now, Billy. Right there, Jágr just goes to the front. That's how great that guy is when he's playing hard. Again, Milan Hajduk, healthy scratch. Last game comes in, scores a big goal right there. The Czechs are so powerful, so many offensive weapons. Patrik Eliáš has not been a factor so far in this tournament. Gets a beautiful goal right there. Great pass here by Jágr, or a breakaway by Jágr. Great pass. He gives it over to Prospel. Unselfish play by Jágr. So everything was working good for the Czechs today because they, a lot like the Americans, played with some passion.
Except after 1 period, it was zip-zip. You mentioned the words passion. They must have heard you because in periods 2 and 3, it was a completely different team.
Billy, people listen to ESPN all over the world. You know that. So.
In the meantime, Team USA victorious finally as they get their first win. You're a Canadian fan. What are you going like that?
I'm dual citizen. I cheer for everybody in North America.
Back to Mike Emmerich.
You know, he's not good. We can't let him get. Now, wait a minute. We know that's not true. He has come out for Canada in several instances, has he not?
He has, but I think he's leading. When the Americans play well, he jumps right in their corner. Okay. When they're not, he just throws them right under the bus.
Well, did they ever? Here's one for you. In the last 17-plus minutes of the game, Slovakia, not a shot on goal. Not one. Not allowed.
Well, better defensive position, but I think the way the Americans changed their lines, quicker shifts, they got the puck in deep. The blue lines are so important when you're leading. Your own blue line, you've got to get pucks out. That means the wingers have got to battle along the boards. They've got to pay a price to get the pucks out. In the other end, at that blue line, you've got to be smart. You've got to be diligent and get it in deep. If you don't do those things, you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to give odd man breaks against. They completely shut down what I thought was a lethargic Slovakian 3rd period. Their big guns certainly didn't come to play in this game, but give the Americans credit. I love the way they played.
And the guys who came in the lineup were certainly hungry, including the goaltender. Let's hear from Joe Micheletti downstairs.
Okay, Doc, thanks very much. Rick DiPietro, first of all, congratulations on the win. You seemed cool and calm in there, were you?
Well, you know, it was a little nerve-wracking there in the first period, but as soon as I got my legs and the guys were playing great in front of me, it made it a lot easier to adjust.
You know, I was standing behind you when Bill Guerin scored that 3rd goal, and you kind of raised your arm, your fist, like, you know, finally we got one. What were you thinking as your team was getting all those chances, nothing was going in, and you were trying to hold on to that 1-goal lead?
Well, it's always definitely a nervous time for a goaltender. You're not getting much action there in the 3rd, and we kind of kept pouring on the offense and couldn't seem to get one by Lasik there, but Billy made a great move, faked the shot, top dog, and, you know, iced the win for us.
Now, was your team upset after losing those first 2 games, or what was the move? Were they mad? Were they embarrassed? I mean, they came out with an awful lot of fire in this one.
Well, I definitely think we're embarrassed. No way should a team come into your own building and dominate you like Russia did last night. Obviously, without Chico in net last night, it could have been, you know, a lot worse than it was. But we realized that we got to pick up our games. We don't want to back into the quarterfinals. We want to come in with a win, get some momentum, some confidence, and see what we can do in the quarterfinals.
Nice job. Congratulations. Thanks for the visit.
Thanks, Joe.
Bill, back to you.
Thanks, Barry. You say it's going to be Esch the next game regardless of what DiPietro did. Why?
Because he's played so well. He has been fantastic. He's been by far the American best player, especially in the first periods against Canada and Russia. I think he's the most confident. He's the most experienced. And I think he deserves to be the American goaltender. DiPietro came in well. He made that save on Hossa on the shorthanded chance. Certainly was a big save at that key time of the game. But I really think Esch has solidified the #1 job for the Americans.
So Team USA finishing up their preliminary round at 1-2. Next week, the schedule, the European quarterfinal, Tuesday, 1 Eastern on ESPN. The North American quarterfinal, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN2. So who do you like now as we move forward? Who do you think is going to win the tournament?
I think Canada's going to win the tournament, but I was very impressed with the Russians.
Is that a surprise?
That is the best I've seen them play in a long, long time. So Canada's got to be ready to play them. The Swedes look very, very good, too. I think the Swedes will come out of the European bracket.
All right, Barry. That'll do it for us. As Rick DiPietro Sr. had a lot to clap about as his son gets a victory. Thanks for watching the World Cup of Hockey. Friday Night Fights is coming up next.
Friday Night Fights, presented by Miller Lite. And tonight, in our studios, Jerry Cooney, his all-time hits. Andre Ward brings home the gold. The gold